Hello, friends, and welcome to a very nice episode of All New Snap Judgments. As always, I am Roy Rogers, and joining me today for this 41st episode of this version of the branding of our show is my friend and yours, Aaron Glazer. Glazer, my friend, how has this wonderfully summer week in March been treating you?
Look, things are fine. I got a week before I'm in Dominican Republic. That's all I'm counting down. Let's go. I want that beach.
Exciting times. Congratulations on your extremely early spring break. Very jealous. It's not until practically my birthday by the time we are on break. But that is not really what our loyal listeners and loyal viewers want, to hear the trials and travails of how little time off I have. Instead, they are much more interested in learning about what our very special guests have for us today. So, Aaron, who is joining us today to snap some judgments?
Our first guest is the fastest growing YouTuber on all of Marvel Snap. It is the great Prashaun. How you doing? He was very surprised when I said fastest growing, but you are now.
Right. I guess you could say I'm the fastest growing, right? 3K subscribers. Hopefully we hit 4K in a few months. And then, of course, it's Prashaun, Prashaun on the YouTubes, Prashaun_snap on the Twitters. So, yeah, I'm happy to be here and talk about some Marvel Snap with you guys. And plus, too, everyone that's listening from Twitter, I'm on. I'm definitely on. I'll retweet this to you. That way everyone knows, because I get tagged every month to be on the show. So happy to be here.
We are also joined by the absolute king of new and custom card content, the most distinctive and unique voice in that area of Marvel Snap in a frickin' landslide. It's Drewberry. How you doing?
Yo, what's up, guys? Happy to be here. Just like Prashaun, I get that ping every now and then about being on the show, but even without the ping, I'm happy to be here. King of custom cards, I guess so. But that's definitely fueled by the community, the Berryverse community. So we got a Discord that you guys can join if you want, and then we also got the YouTube channel and Twitter. That's where you can find Drewberry.
And there's Drewberry_snap, just so you know. Although if you type in Drewberry, no one else pops up. So
let's go.
Well, every week, it's my first stop when I'm trying to figure out the new card of the week. Like every week. So I look for it every week. You're on my whatchamacallits? Both of you are on my my stupid little ring the bell bullshit. Notifications, thanks. That's the word.
Yes,
I teach English for a living. You're both on my notifications. But I feel like people that actually can keep track of notifications are a special breed, because I never can.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. No shot.
All right, Roy, take it away.
All right. So, for those of you who are interested in engaging with us, we are on Elon Musk's emotional torture machine, formerly known as Twitter, presently known as X, at SnapJudgeCast. Most importantly, we are incredibly proud and incredibly grateful to be the official podcasting partner of Marvel Snap Zone. Even though we have returned the show to our own YouTube, we are still very much happy to be part of the MSZ family. And please, friends, join the Discord. Marvel Snap Zone has the best large Discord in all of Marvel Snap, and you can find the link to join it in the description of this episode on YouTube or on the description in your friendly neighborhood podcatcher. If you're interested in reaching out to us via the internet equivalent of snail mail, our email is snapjudgmentspodcast@gmail.com, and Glazer will do his best to get back to you through the kick spam that he subjected that account to. But there are also two very, very critical forms of social media that you should definitely engage with us on. The first and foremost is our YouTube channel, where you are listening to this episode right now, if you're watching the video one. if you are watching on the YouTube, please press that like and subscribe button and all of the usual YouTube nonsense. But this YouTube is at Snap Judgments Pod, where 6 out of the 7 days a week you can find Glazer offering you daily Snap takes. Aaron, if our loyal listeners were to become our loyal viewers, what would they find on this here YouTube right now?
All right, so I don't know how or why this happened, but the international players that are at the top of the ladder have all decided they like me and exclusively send me the top decks now. Where, like, I woke up this morning and someone's like, by the way, this deck just hit number 1. I hit number 1 with it. Would you like to feature it? I'm like, yeah, I think that seems good. So if you would like, apparently the best decks, I have them. I didn't make them, but I have them now. So you should make sure you sub and watch those.
Awesome. The other form of social media is our Patreon, where you can subscribe and support us each and every month, which is, of course, patreon.com/snapjudgments. Now, some Patreons for some content creators sometimes can feel a little bit like a pyramid scheme, all right, where all of the money that you're getting attributed is getting cycled up to just one person. That is not the case with ours because, friends, even with the Patreon, this is run at a loss in the red. So if you would like to contribute to the largesse that Glazer is spewing out to the Marvel Snap community through things like the Snap Judgments League, which is running right now, and there will hopefully, with its great success, be a second season of it sooner rather than later. But there's lots and lots of stuff to find on our Patreon. Glazer, besides getting to hear your lovely voice say their name if they give you $10 a month, what kind of things would they find on the Patreon?
Exclusive podcasts and stuff, but I want to advertise the dollar tier because, like, the Snap Judgments League has kicked off. And we decided we can't, like, actually organize the league every single month, but then I'm just taking your $1 for a month for nothing, and that's shitty. So we don't want to do that. This is a loss leader, not a moneymaker. So instead, we're going to run just, like, a weekend tournament. We're partnering with Pursuit Gaming, and we're just going to run a weekend giant tournament with big prizes for one weekend. So we'll have every other month a league, and on off months, we'll just have a giant tournament to make sure you get your money's worth.
All right, lots of bang for your buck. Again, continuing the world's worst Patreon on a money-making scheme that is the Snap Judgments Patreon. Because again, I am hashtag not bought. This is not hashtag sponsored. Snap Judgments is a net loss for me to participate in. So please, friends, if you're interested in seeing more from the show, make sure that you join us there. All right, Aaron, what do we have first for us today?
Roy's favorite named segment. He chose this name. He loves it. Don't let him lie to you. It's the high five. Questions from our friends for our friends. Roy's going to murder me one day. And this segment is why. So some Snap is like rock, paper, scissors. And I said some snake twice in a row. I'm aware. Thank you. With matchups, but Thanos is the gun that beats rock, paper, and scissors. Do you agree or disagree? Prashaun first?
Yes and no. Like, Thanos is pretty strong at the moment, but I've been playing the, like, disruptive Sarah, and it's been working against it with, like, Man-Thing, putting rocks on the board. Valkyrie can kill it, too, if you play Zoo. If you play Zoo the right way. I think it's strong, but it's still beatable, right? I think it is.
Oh, 100%. I think it's beatable. I think that, I don't know, it's kind of a weird analogy. Even just in general, Snap being rock, paper, scissors, I think there's just too many different decks, and I think a lot of people maybe get caught up on what's viable at the top of the meta just because of statistics and whatnot, when some people win with just some random crazy stuff. So Thanos is at the top, but, like, you can't nerf or buff rock, paper, scissors, but you can in Marvel Snap all the cards, and they do change them every now and then. So he's at the top, and he does make his turnaround at the top, but I mean, there's been metas where Thanos wasn't at the top of the best deck. I remember there wasn't too long ago that some people would say that people just play Thanos to make it look like they have a big brain because it wasn't all that good at the time.
True.
So Ebbs and
Right.
flows.
Anything, Ted? No. All right. Next up, single tip for consistently climbing, like Buzz Lightyear. Prashaun?
Interesting. I would say knowing when to snap and when to retreat is the best thing. And having a deck that gives you those signs, right? I know like Shuri is pretty easy, Living Tribunal is pretty easy. Destroy players, it should be easy, but for some odd reason they don't know when to snap.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my best tip for climbing, because I usually make infinite day one, but I feel like I could be quicker if I'm not as risky with 8-cube games. So that's my best advice. Sticking to a deck and then snapping.
Yeah. I'd piggyback on that. I'd double down on that one that Prashaun said. And then to add, I think people focus too much on what they're doing, but they don't focus on what the opponent's doing. And I think you should probably spend more of a 60-40 or 70-30 split focusing on what your opponent's doing compared to what actually is in your hand and what plays you can make. Because that should just come naturally, because you should understand your deck and what to do anyways.
Damn it, Drew said what mine was going to be. Because I totally lost 8 cubes today because I was playing a zoo deck and I forgot. Guess what? What's the stupidest card you could forget exists if you're playing a zoo deck?
Killmonger.
Yeah, so I forgot Killmonger existed because I haven't seen Killmonger. It was a Sarah deck. And I was like, whatever. I got that lane locked up. I'm just going to drop Eliath here. And I was like, I could drop Eliath mid and win that way, but whatever. And I dropped Eliath right, and I was like, oh wait, he played Killmonger mid. Doesn't matter what else happened. And that was the end of the game. So yeah, remember what your opponent's going to do. Just be like, hey, if this opponent is staying and I'm up like a 10 million power, they obviously have something. What do they have? The other thing to do is know the meta, know the decks. 90% of the time, you're playing a deck that's known. A deck that's on all the tier lists, a deck that's in all the videos. Everyone's playing the same basic things. A couple cards might be different here or there, but you should know the decks. It makes your life significantly easier to know what the hell you're playing against. Right, a tip?
All right. What's our third question here, Aaron?
Oh, you have no tip. Okay.
I have nothing
No tips. What made you start creating content?
Let's see. I played the game a lot. I noticed on Snap.fan when all the data was there, I was one of the top people playing the game. I was top 10 in games played because I was playing until 5 in the morning because I was free to play. And then I was watching people like Drew, TLSG, Jeff and KM, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I should dabble in this. I've always wanted to do YouTube. I tried to do sneaker YouTube for a minute, but it's hard to do and expensive because you have to buy a $200 sneaker every single day or every week, and you have to talk about it, and then you have to hope that people watch it. So it was super hard to do.
What do you say?
That lines up with Snap, I think. The price per week. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait. Well, but what do you say? Look, it's a sneaker. I really like the sneakerness, and then you show the other side. Still a sneaker.
Well, I don't know. You would say this is patent leather. This is the midsole. It originally came out this year. It's by this person.
Gotcha.
There's more to it than that. But I feel this community is pretty great. So I was like, why not? And then I made videos every once in a while, but SnapCon was my come to Jesus moment. And that's what propelled me to, I guess, where I'm at the moment. So, yeah.
Well, this is going to cost me some subs, but you heard it here first. Felicity is Marvel Snap Jesus.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Drewberry?
For me, I had seen Broad tease this game way back in May, I think, of 2022, and I had played a lot of Hearthstone for basically its entire existence. So I was a big fan. So I knew that I wanted to give a shot at YouTube, and I knew I liked card games. So I thought, yeah, why not? This looks like a lot of fun. And yeah, the gameplay was awesome from what they showed. I was pretty much sold, so I just said, let's do it. And I just started doing YouTube, and it's a grind, as everyone here knows. But it's paid off a little bit, and yeah, we're here now.
Nice. All right. What is your worst idea for a Marvel Snap card?
Oh, I've had many.
Ooh,
You need a
worst
second to think?
idea.
Or are you good?
Well, I think there should be a card. I think you sort of mentioned it earlier, sort of. But I was thinking something that's reverse of Kang. Like something like you can play this card by turn 3 and it starts the game over. I think that would be pretty cool. But it will be a horrible idea.
Just the sheer amount of time.
Yeah, like because I already hate people that play Magic and then play Kang.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I know that will bog the game a lot more if that happens. But I think that's a cool idea, but a dumb idea.
Drewberry?
It's hard to say. I once wanted. It was a location. Can I say that?
Sure.
Does that kind of count? I once thought it would be fun if there would be a location where you only had 15 seconds to take your turn, both players.
I don't hate
similar
that.
to Nas Dormu. I think it was Nas Dormu. Nas from Hearthstone. He would do that. The dragon, you would play him. Anywho, I thought that would be pretty fun. And Snap's already such a quick game; it would make it chaotic, but maybe a little bit too quick and toxic. Maybe, I don't know.
All right. So ready? A 6/6 that says you can't play cards here this turn. It destroys them immediately. It's my worst idea for a card. It's really good, right? It just, like, when you play it, it just deletes all the cards your opponent's plays at that location that turn.
So would it work in Destroy or not work in Destroy at all?
It works. It works in Destroy. It destroys the card. But they don't reveal or anything. Like, if they're unrevealed, they just poof. Like, almost in a fart cloud.
So Goliath.
So like Goliath, yeah. Okay.
just kind of exactly like Goliath, yes.
6/6.
6/6.
Isn't it crazy that it used to be a 5/5? Jeez.
Yeah. Thank God they didn't print that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. And Roy, you have no choice but to answer this next one. What historical figure would be an awesome Marvel Snap card?
I think George Washington. And this would be his ability is to change the location to Washington DC.
Oh.
And then all of your cards with no abilities would get the buff. I think that would be pretty cool.
He needs to also then have no ability, right? Like, he needs to, like, activate, and then, like, his tech needs to treat him as if he has no ability.
I guess. But technically that's his ability.
Yeah, I get it. Drew?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm trying to think of all kinds of. Immediately I go to like political figures, but then I'm thinking, okay, geez, who would be a good one? Not many Canadian. I'm Canadian, by the way. There aren't many Canadian legends that I can think of off the top of my head. I don't know. There'd be many, so many. I don't got a good answer for this one.
Fair enough, right?
It should probably be a historical figure that has been in a Marvel comic, which I believe 2 U.S. presidents have explicitly been in Marvel comics as U.S. president. That'd be JFK and Barack Obama.
That's not true. You're missing one.
So there we go. Those should probably be cards.
Richard Nixon was a villain in a Captain America run.
Well, he was the president. They didn't explicitly say it was Richard Nixon.
It was drawn as Nixon.
I'm just saying, like, it's by implication. Both Reagan and Nixon appeared. They didn't explicitly appear as characters shaking hands with Spider-Man, like Kennedy.
Well, no, Nixon couldn't shake hands with Spider-Man. He was a supervillain.
Yes. But
what was that? What's his name? Was that Englehart?
I'm sorry, what?
Who wrote that run? Do you remember who wrote that Captain America run?
Oh, of the Nixon, was Mark Grunwald.
Grunwald, okay. Yeah, really good
He did
run.
a lot of the classic Cap stuff that inspired Ed Brubaker.
Fair enough. All right, cool. We are... We are moving on to Mockingbird.
Yeah, right. Speaking of character, Mark Grunwald had a big role in shaping the destiny of. All right, we have our new card for the week, Mockingbird, which is a Series 5 6K tokens 5/9, costs 1 less for each card you have in play that didn't start in your deck. Drewberry, what do you think?
Oh yeah, I
Hawkeye's
love this
favorite
card.
ex-wife.
Really interesting. I didn't know that about the character. But yeah, man, I love this card. I love this card when I first saw it. I kept this was my card of the month, still is, and she's done pretty amazing. Obviously, everyone's looking at Thanos, but man, I've been playing a lot of other fun decks. Junk, actually, I'm a big Junk fan. I play Junk all the time. It's doing great in Junk. It's just so easy to make this like a 2/9, and it's just crazy value once it's at that point. And it dodges Shang-Chi, so it's just all around good things. Yeah, this is a great card.
Pete?
Yeah. I definitely agree. I think it's broken in a sense. It's definitely broken because you could get this out for free final turn. Like I'll play Valkyrie and then like put this as a fourth card in that same location and then just win games. And then the crazy interaction, like I figured out like this morning that not that many people I even said like saw talk about it was Morph. Morph counts too as a random card. So
Yeah.
I've been putting Morph in the junk deck that I've been playing and it's been going crazy. So definitely an awesome card. I don't know. I still like War Machine as a notch better than Mockingbird, but we'll see once he drops. But I think she might get nerfed eventually for sure.
Yeah.
So like, but what do you do? Right? Like you
610.
can't make 610?
Yep.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi range, and it's still, you can discount it to like 1 at the same amount of things on.
I would bet you they don't nerf it by buffing it.
I don't
could
know
see
if
it
it'd
being
be
a
much of a
6-8.
buff.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do they make it like Death and make it like a 8? A 8 cost?
Yeah, they could, eh? Like,
This has a real argument for the best card in Snap right now, right? Like I don't think it wins, but it's got like a reasonable argument.
Oh yeah, for sure. It goes in so many decks, or you could just throw it in any deck, and then the value for the power is amazing.
Yeah. Right. Did you get Mockingbird?
There is 0% chance
I
I'm
know.
using any resources for this boring card that asks, like, if Thanos didn't exist, I think that this would be a cool card. It encourages you to play things like Patriot and, like some sort of like build around, do something. But like Thanos is like, no, you can just play something just already busted. And then you also get this big cost reduced friend. So I have thought that this card was dull from the moment it was first spoiled, and it has not impressed or surprised me. So,
Yeah. I mean, look, it's really, really good in Thanos. It's just really, really good everywhere. Like, you can just throw a Squirrel Girl into a stupid deck and just be like, eh. Like, your downside is just a good card, right? Like, there are 5/9s I play. Like, I play Arrow, right? Like, an Arrow doesn't always do anything. Sometimes you're just like, I just need 9 stats.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a good card.
Yeah.
You know what's speaking to Roy's point too about Thanos is like way back they nerfed Quinjet because of the timing of the stones, right? Because they don't technically start in your deck, but you do get them at the start of the game. And then they nerfed Quinjet so you can discount it by 1. Rather than, I think a lot of people wanted to see the stones count as being in your deck as start of the game, so that Quinjet by its normal self wouldn't discount them, and Mockingbird wouldn't get discounted from them. And it always has seemed to me like that would be a logical step, aside from the probably technical issues maybe there is with that, the timing of the trigger. But I feel like that would be a healthy nerf to this card and Thanos.
Agreed. Right. Any Hope and or Pixie thoughts? Pete?
Hope is okay. I think there's too much.
Okay.
Well, there's too much ramp in Marvel Snap. Like we used to have the Time Stone. We have Psylocke. We have Electro, who's obsolete now. We have Hope. There's too much rampage going on. So I think that I hope that card gets nerfed eventually too. I feel like all these cards might get nerfed in the future. Just like Elsa season, where every card got nerfed that season. I feel like this is going to happen too because it's too good to be true. And Pixie is an awesome card, but there's too much triple M play to like see the like true potential of like where it can go. It's because everyone's just going to counter it. But yeah, I think they're both two decent cards. I think Pixie is more of my favorite because I've been playing that in high Evo, and it just kills. But besides that, like, yeah. What do you think, Drew?
I didn't pick up Pixie, so I don't have too much of an opinion on that card aside from what I've seen other people say. Seems like kind of like what you said, right? Like a very fun card, and people are enjoying playing those decks, but maybe not the strongest or kind of hit or miss. Whereas I have been playing quite a bit of Hope, and she is certainly strong. I do find it surprising, and also I suppose not surprising because it's the season pass card, but they changed her a few days before the release from a 3/3 to a 3/4. They actually gave her +1 power. They had already made that change to her ability to go from +2 to +1, and then they ended up giving her 1 power before her launch. And I feel like even 3/3 would have been perfectly fine. Like that's not really why people are playing the card. The 4 power is nice to have on the board. It doesn't feel like a waste of a space. But yeah, it's an interesting decision.
So I think the decision is because Sebastian Shaw, Scar, and Black Swan, right? Like my assumption is people are like you don't need Shaw unless you like Shaw goes in one deck. Scar went in one deck and is even cut from that deck, and Black Swan is just like a fun meme. And they were like, oh, we need to sell some damn season passes.
That's true. That's true. It's been a kind of a weird batch of season pass cards when historically before that they were the strongest cards by far. So
only for 3 months. Before the triumvirate of Ms. Marvel, Loki, and Elsa, there were like 6 straight months of mediocre season pass cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't great for a long time.
It's true, and I think a lot of people get caught up, myself included, for a while until lately I've started to notice the trend is that the statistics are, just not realistic to the actual cards win rates and whatnot. First week of the season reset, everybody's winning, everybody's splashing that new card in because they got it on the season pass, and its win rate just inflates like crazy, like 60% every time. Even those cards you mentioned in the last 3-4 months that were just kind of like, but then you look at the win rate, it's like, oh my gosh, this card's great, I have to buy it.
Yeah.
The secret reason of the bots, we just uncovered it.
Yeah. Probably.
I feel like Roy feels about Mockingbird about Hope. I think it homogenizes things. It just says like, I see this, I drop cards in this, I play big card. And like, I don't know, I think Hope's a bad decision for the game. I think like, because Hope can go in any decks sort of like feel samey. Even like they're just running similar curves, right? Everything's sort of running the same more or less curve, except for bounce. But everything's running the same basic curve as Thanos, just it runs different 1-drops instead of the Infinity Stones. And like, I don't know, if it's homogenized the game for me, I am not a Hope fan, like at all, as far as what it means for the game. It's obviously very powerful. +1 energy or +3 energy a turn is really good. But like, it basically means that every deck is sort of doing the same thing in a way that I don't love. The where art thou 5-drops, right? Like it's just like Hope, some stuff 6/6 and Vision because Vision's stupid. But like, and then I think Pixie is a blast. She's not very good, but I don't really give a shit. She's really, really fun, and you can win with her if they don't have Mobius, and that's good enough. And like, I'm not trying to climb to top 1,000. I don't care. So I'm gonna play my Pixie and Smile.
It's playable in top 1,000. I played it there.
Sure, and
it's
then
possible.
And then by the end of the week, you were top 2,000.
Oh yeah, for sure. That happened too.
So I don't know. Had something to do with Pixie. Roy, any Hope or Pixie thoughts?
I think generally I'm a bit more bullish on Hope than, because for me it's not that Mockingbird is homogenizing, it's just that she's just like really dull, right? Like the card is just like, it get cheaper because you play these cards that you already wanted to play in Thanos. Well, I think Hope like is one of those cards that to me is like kind of like Miss Marvel, where there's a optimized version of what to do with it, but there's also like a lot of really interesting things you can do with Hope otherwise. So like for me, I'm willing to let Hope stay for a little while to sort of like see what she does and sort of see the bigger what real Hope decks look like, even if like so much of Marvel Snap, everything sort of homogenizes around like mid-range kind of like fine beat sticks, number go up stuff, and good stuff. So I am I'm fine with like Hope being one of the most powerful but also interesting things to be doing for like the next couple of months, and then they'll come in and I don't know, make her so you get like +1 energy every third moon or whatever. And so that's sort of how I feel. Pixie, I agree with everybody that like fun card. I think there's a lot of space left to figure out what the ideal Pixie decks are, and it's definitely a card to keep in mind as the card pool continues to expand. So it's, to me, like a really, really, really fun and interesting card. I feel like it's going to probably end up being like Living Tribunal at some point, where like somebody figures out the right math with the right set of cards and they hate, lots of people come up and hate it. So yeah, I think that this has been like actually a really powerful month, both in the sense of like really boring cards like Mockingbird, really interesting cards like Pixie, and then to me, Hope is somewhere in between, like one part interesting, one part like really boring, good stuff.
All right. We all good? Let's talk balance patch. Take it away, Roy.
All right, so we've got one of the largest and most influential patches in Marvel Snap history. Elsa is back, but somewhat different, and there's definitely people on Twitter who think that she's gotten worse. She went from 2 costs to 3, and stayed at same power, 3. But she got a version of her old text back, which is each card you play to fill your side of a location gains +2 power. Meek got a upgrade, but in some cases, a little bit of a side grade. He now is still a 1/1 that says when you discard a card, this gains +1 power and can move next turn instead of just randomly hopping around your board like the little insect man that he is. Speaking of insects, we've got Mantis, who has been side graded and downgraded. She's no longer a 2/3. She's now just a 2/2, but she has the on reveal. If your opponent played any cards this turn, copy one of them into your hand. Really much more interesting, in my opinion, card than what exists before. Cable has been restored and slightly buffed to his original 2 cost. He's now a 2/3 that draws a card from your opponent's deck. Now, the big one of the, I think, 2 big giant changes in this one is the Time Stone. Still a 1/1 sort of a card that doesn't start in your deck, but now is on reveal, draw a card and give it -1 cost. Ooh. All right. M'Baku trying to make your memes into dreams still. All right. All at the end of the game, this jumps from your deck to your lowest power location that is in full. Still a 1/2. Yondu got a complete rework. All right. He now destroys the lowest cost card in your deck. Still a 1/2. Big change for his functionality. And finally, alongside the Time Stone, to me, this is the other big change, is Leech. All right. On reveal, remove the text from each card with an on reveal ability in your opponent's hand. Crazy changes this week. So I assume we'll want to hit the big ones. Prashaun, Elsa Bloodstone, thoughts, feelings, opinions.
I like the change. I don't know why Twitter's in an uproar for the most part. Like I think it's better. I've been playing her with discard with Meek, and I've just basically been destroying a bunch of swarms, and then final turn I just fill every location with swarms, and it just throws the opponent off. Like, what is this guy doing? So I think it's an awesome change. It's much needed. She wasn't playable before, and it makes her playable.
Drew?
Yeah, I'm glad to see her back, but she's been up, down, changed around so many times that it'd be nice to actually find a stable Elsa, which I hope this one is.
She's good. People that think she's worse are wrong. I lost my first game with her because I forgot I could fill other locations because I'm an idiot. I finally got used to the new ability. So I was like, oh, I got to fill Elsa's location. No, I didn't. I should have filled the other location and gotten my +2, and then I would have won the game. And, like, I used to know that kind of thing automatically, so I have to retrain myself. But Elsa's great. Like, she's a great card. Now there's just too many good 3s, I think, is the problem, but Elsa's still want to do Meek?
I could kick it off with Meek. I think this is the biggest change of this patch, at least the biggest buff, I should say. Meek is just unbelievably good now. I would even say better than Morbius for discard because, yeah, you don't scale as much, but you only pay 1. But the fact that you can choose the movement, when you want to move, where you want to move, just crazy. It's practically vision for a discard mixed in with Morbius. It's just been so helpful for me allocating my power up where I actually need it to be, but not only that, reaching certain locations that discard naturally can't reach. So this is a must own for discard lovers for me.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a good card, especially when your opponent doesn't know where you're going to put it. I think Marvel Snap is all about like tricking your opponent on making them think that they know your next move. And with Meek moving everywhere, it's difficult for them. And then the crazy thing is with Elsa too, I've been playing Meek with Elsa. So I fill up a lane, I play a card there, buff it with Elsa, I move Meek, and then fill another lane. It's ridiculous. I think Meek is probably one of the best buffs this week. What do you think, Laser?
I think discard's the second best deck in Marvel Snap. Like, straight up, I think the best deck is obviously Thanos, even after the Time Stone, because, like, the Time Stone's not that much worse. We'll get to that, I guess. But, like, the Time Stone's worse, but, like, it's not, like, exponentially worse. I think that if Thanos didn't exist, discard would be the best deck in Marvel Snap right now. I think it's really, really strong. I think the amount of power it puts on the board, it's one of the only things that can just straight up go over Blob, right? Like, it goes over basically everything but, like, silly Human Torch shit. So it's absolutely stellar. I think it's the best. All right, let's go Time Stone, Leech, and then we'll just talk about like the others in general. Does that work for you guys?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I don't know how much you care about Mantis and M'Baku.
Yeah, all right, don't matter.
Let's do Time. You got time for Time?
Yeah, let's do Time Stone. So when I first saw this, I thought it was like it could be a buff in some ways because there's times I play Time Stone early just for card draw in general, and I think it's a buff like or a surprise that you get your next card with the cost reduction because there's times I play Time Stone and don't even use the extra energy.
I mean,
but I don't know. What do you think?
Drew?
Yeah, it just gives me America Chavez vibes the way they changed her, and while she's not terrible, but she's usually easy to cut because it's just like I can find something that's a little more focused, a little more, I don't know, reliable. So I feel like it's still obviously a good stone to play. I don't know. I think it's a pretty healthy nerf actually. If I really think about it, I think I'm glad they took a hit at Time Stone rather than, I don't know, Thanos himself or the Soul Stone again.
The Soul Stone now gives -0.5 of power. Rounding down. I have had a fine time with Time Stone. Like, I feel like because Thanos decks are just 12 good cards and then free stones, that like the Time Stones really worked out for me when I see it early. Like, I've hit Hope Summers with it, I've hit Stones with it, I've hit Blob with it, and all those cases, it's just like, if they don't drop a Mobius, it can be a game winner. It kills the like consistent like I can Professor X early, the consistent I can Hope Summers early type thing, but instead it says you don't know what I'm going to do early. if I snap on you, you don't, like, you might get stuck staying into an unfavorable situation because you can't tell. So I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Worse, obviously, worse. Let's be clear, worse.
Oh, yeah.
It is a nerf.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
like, I don't think it's dead, right? Like, I think the nerf to Soulstone was way harder.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I agree.
All right. Let's talk about how much we hate Leech. Let's pee on that grave.
It was much needed. I always thought Leech should have been an on reveal. That way it could have been countered in some form or fashion, but the card's dead. I don't think it's playable at all, in my opinion. I don't see that many people trying to leak out a Leech.
Man, he's a zombie. He's going to be back. I'm telling you. That hand's reaching out of the grave. He's just give him some time and he's going to be back. That's what happens with this guy. He takes hits and he finds his way back into the meta.
I mean, like, he's good in High Evo, right? Like, because in High Evo, you're playing him for Shang-Chi, Eliath, and shit that changes locations.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah. And, like, what about like even bounce decks that want to do a big burst or Sarah tech stuff? And, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, I still think he's good in High Evo. He's just, and he's an on reveal, so now you can, if silliness happens, hope into him, right? Like,
Ooh, yeah.
or whatever into him, but right, like, and you can play him on turn 6 as necessary. I don't know. I think he's still probably good. Not great, but good. I wish they would just delete him. Just delete Leech. We don't need to, like, nerf him. Just delete him. He used his ability on himself, and he's gone. He's now just a 5/3 Patriot card. All right. Do you want to talk any thoughts about Mantis, Cable, M'Baku, or Yondu as a whole? I have a thought about. Okay, here, let's do it this way. You can have a thought about one of these cards.
Okay.
Mantis is dead. It wasn't a good. It
Was
wasn't
she
a good.
ever alive?
I thought she would have been cool in Mill. So Mantis, Cable, Gladiator, stuff like that. Yondu to mill someone's deck down. But that idea is thrown out the window because of Mantis. So there's no reason to play her. You might as well play Mirage.
Yeah, pretty much. That's crazy. I mean, they brought up a good example of, like, you could copy the Venom after it grows to really big, but it's like, come on, man. Are we really putting in mana to counter destroy?
No.
I don't know about that. That's stretching it. So I agree. My card would be Yondu. It's a weird change, I know, but I like it in the prospect of what's coming down the pipeline in the future. And there's a card that I think we're talking about later.
Yeah, we are. Because they changed it.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll just say there's futures value with Yondu, I think.
I'm going to talk about the Ascani Sun. Cable is great now. Like, I know it feels like a meme, but, like, everyone tested like crazy when Loki came out, Mantis versus Cable, right? And not Mantis, Mirage versus Cable. And everyone assumed that Mirage was going to win because it's got the +2 power, right? And then, like, pretty quickly, I was like, oh no, Cable occasionally breaks this matchup, right? Cable is occasionally just completely busted. Cool, so he's that again, but now he has 1 more power. So he's just good. Like, he's a good card. The amount of time you play him and he steals something like wildly important is completely absurd.
I used to like Cable when he was a 2/2 every now and then. So I don't doubt it. I'm glad to see them bring him back.
Yeah. He's a good beginner card, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, look, Loki is still, the 3rd or 4th best deck in Marvel Snap? It's top 5 at the very least, right? And if Loki is good, Cable is good. Because, like, sometimes you're just like, ooh, I drew that and I'll play it. And sometimes you're like, ooh, I drew that and I don't care. Loki. Either one of those is totally fine.
Yeah.
So, all right. That is the March 12th balance patch. General thoughts about any and or all of these? I feel like it's mostly just yay is everyone's general thought, but hey, if you have anything specific, let me know. Graveyard for destroyed and discarded cards. Yay. Undo end turn. Yay. Rarity changes and selectable border. Yay. It'll get better, I promise. Gold pass. Okay, we have to talk about that. Locations always resolve from left to right. Yay. Subterranean to 4 rocks. Yay. Location changes. Any thoughts about any? Let's start with Drew.
Wait, what? Is Subterranea is 4 rocks now?
Subterranean is 4 rocks now.
4 rocks.
Whoa! I missed that. Damn. Okay. Well, that's cool.
Unless you like Darkoff.
Jeez. I mean, I think we should just double down. Let's go 10. Why are we stopping at 4 and 5? Interesting. No, I agree, Glazer. I think it's quality of life patch is what it really felt like. And I'm here for it. I think it's good that they actually did something because we had some pretty dry patches and a dry start to the year. So I think next patch might be even bigger. Who knows? But no, it's some good stuff. No real specific thoughts for me, though. I think it was all just kind of good.
Yeah, I think overall it was a pretty good one. Quality of life. I feel like the locations being rarer was another hit to destroy to me, because a lot of the locations were, I guess, favoring destroy cards for the most part. So that's pretty good. And then the gold pass too. I think it's good value. It's great value. But it's weird though, because they're getting rid of all these gold bundles. I used to hoard up all my gold and save it for bundles, but not anymore. They just want straight cash.
So I think they've invented a real problem for themselves. It's too easy for whales to get all the cards because we all hoarded resources when they were real generous. And so they have to try and charge casual players for cards now, but casual players don't want to pay for cards. They get really mad and leave. But we can either I could buy gold pass or not. It's just not going to affect how many cards I get or how I play the game, right? So they've sort of cornered themselves with stuff like this. What they're doing, by not releasing Series 4 cards anymore, seemingly, and releasing a gold pass, is they're saying we're just increasing our prices across the board, right? Yes, you can still have every card, but now we want $15 a month from you instead of $10 a month. Let's go. And whales can just be no thanks, you gave us too much already, we're good forever, right? And non-whales can just be I don't know, Netflix. So
that's gone up too.
Yes, I think it's a complicated problem they've invented for themselves. I don't know what the solution is at all, but I don't envy them for it.
Oh, no. I think they really made, from the beginning, it difficult on themselves. I think so many card games have set ways of acquiring the cards. And typically that's a new set comes out and you can buy an expansion or whatever of that kind. With Snap, they took a very unique approach. They revolutionized, I would say, the card game aspect from the small games, but also to how you acquire those cards and how long it takes to acquire them and such. But now I feel like they've changed the economy so many times. They've kind of trapped themselves where it's well, you can't really change it all again. That'd be a mess. Like you said, there's people with a bunch of these resources. Can't betray those players. But at the same time, we need to make it achievable for our new players. Basically what I'm saying, Glazers, I totally agree with you. I do not envy the team.
Yeah. I was really mad at them for a little while when they killed the Datamines. It seems like they gave us Datamines for at least the cards back, and even if it's not bundles, fine. I can live with not the bundles as long as they're doing the cards, which are how you play the damn game. But I get it, right? They're trying to keep the game alive, and they just watched what was it, Runeterra die, and they're just we need to figure out how to make this sustainable because our margins aren't big enough. And shit, okay, good luck, friends.
Well, haven't you seen the random bundles that everyone's getting only for them?
Yeah, those are bad.
Yeah, so I wish they could do something for new players where they could open a pack or something. They pay a certain amount of resources,
just
make it four random cards or something, or some tokens.
Sell new players decks.
So I saw that going around, but my only take back on that is that then it's really forcing a certain meta, and then people are going to really be playing those decks exclusively a lot. And I know that already happens because people net deck, they see the best deck, etc. But I think if you put it in the game, then just the casual who does not watch the YouTube, does not look up things on Twitter, which is a bigger player base than I think a lot of people understand, they will just plug and play that deck, and we'll see it so much more often.
I mean, but those players are already doing that with the auto deck builder.
Yeah, but I guess that the auto deck builder can only pull from what you have in your collection, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it doesn't pull from what you have in your collection, right? It says, okay, so you have this card in your collection. Like, I mean, it pulls from what you have in your collection, right? But it's just like, okay, so here's the only card. Like, it just pulls the most popular deck.
Right, with like various substitutions based on what you own. Yeah.
So like it's the same basic concept, except now you'll have the actual same, and then don't sell one deck, like sell 5 decks at a time, right? Like
It's true.
Or
And if
different-
you're selling the deck, you acquire the cards you could do with what you want with them anyway. So that's true.
Yeah, if they sell like decks with different archetypes, and you pick the archetype you want, you just go with that one.
yeah, you can buy one of 5 decks, and then the others disappear, like the way they do that, right? Or 2 of 5, whatever the hell it may be. And then like it really amps up everyone's card acquisition. Like I think people would generally be happy.
No one will ever be
wrong.
happy.
No one, yeah.
No, I mean, look,
Can't please everybody.
yes, but like the casual players will be happy, and we're so invested. Where the hell are we going? Right? Like, I love that they try and please us sometimes, but like, you don't have to make me happy, man. I'm making a video a day. Like, I'll be here. I might complain, but like, I'm not going anywhere right now. You'd have to be real shit to get me to stop. And they're nice people, so I don't expect them to be real shit anytime soon.
I don't. I really don't spend money on Snap. I buy the season passes. That's it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, for at least 5 months now, maybe 6 months. Yep.
How many cards from complete are you?
I'm missing, I think, 10 or 12.
Oh wow!
That's more than I thought. Anything that you really want that you're missing?
Nico.
Ooh,
yeah, that's a big one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but I just try to stay. I know I'm not free to play, but I don't spend a lot of money on it. So I kind of, to get an understanding of what maybe the average people that are playing have and whatnot, so that when it comes time to making decisions on if people should get the card or not, I feel a little bit closer to their mindset, maybe with how precious resources are.
Lauren Whatevs did season pass only from Spotlight caches to now, and still has everything last I checked. So it's doable. It's just
probably plays a lot more than me.
Yeah, and she like hyper optimizes, right? Like it's like, okay, so I know if I buy this exact save for this exact. So like it's doable. It's just a pain in the ass. Get the gold pass, man. Good for you. No, screw you, second dinner. All right.
No, I'm not getting it.
All right. Let's move on to this weird ass event. We've got another imbalance patch. We've got Avengers versus X-Men. Where Avengers locations with 3 Avengers in them have +3 power. Like the location just gets +3 power. So you get slightly less than Ms. Marvel for having 3 Avengers in the location. And these cards don't go together for shit. I'm not going to read this whole list of Avengers. It's basically every card that is Avengers tangent, and then some that have no business being here, like Wong and Moon Knight, who are not Avengers in any real way, shape, or form.
West Coast.
Sure. Look, there's a few cards here, like Bucky is not an Avenger, Daredevil's not an Avenger, right? Like, what are we doing here? But
Nick Fury
is not on the list.
Gang together, man.
Nova is not an Avenger. Like, it's a weird list. I don't know what they were doing. But, like, you know what they were doing? Not letting us build decks that get +3 powers at a location. Because I spent, like an hour before we started recording trying to get ready for yesterday's video, as people see this. And I was like, oh, these are not good.
Yeah. It's hard to make an Avengers deck. Like, I was thinking Living Tribunal, or even trying to go like a Wong going deck, trying to get Black Panther, Wong, Zola, and some other random card to get the
Why
buff.
isn't Spectrum here?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think they're bad at picking what's what, because even with power couples, they missed the mark with a bunch of couples.
But like, at least those were couples. These are like, I guess She-Hulk and Daredevil are in a couple. They just hook up. But like, just give me a few more cards that go together, right? Be like, all right, so we've got Wong and we got Panther. Can we throw any other cards that go with Wong and Panther in here? Nah, that's good, thanks. Like,
is Luke Cage in here? Luke Cage is in here. Right?
Luke Cage
is in here.
So you can throw Hazmat in there, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is bad.
All right. X-Men is the other team. And X-Men are, once you play 4 X-Men, X-Men have +1 power. And the best thing about this is every time you play Kitty Pryde, that's a different X-Men you played.
Oh wow! Oh man, this is broken.
What?
So, Kitty, if you play her twice, you've just played 2 X-Men.
Oh my gosh, I thought they had to be on the board.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Wow.
According to safety, I didn't test it.
Yeah.
Safety's
No,
messaged me.
that sounds right. Wow.
It's just you played 4 X-Men. It doesn't say they have to be in play once you play. So if you just play Kitty 4 times, she's gonna get a buff.
That's wild.
And the X-Men make 50 decks. I made a bounce deck. Safety made a Loki deck. You can do a lockdown deck. It's easier to do an Avengers and X-Men deck in High Evo than it is to just do a freaking Avengers deck. Yeah. The actual X-Men cards go together really well.
Yeah, X-Men, they win by a mile here.
Yep.
Also, I didn't see how long this is going to last, but they did throw Cannonball in, so apparently it's lasting at least till next Tuesday.
Oh wow!
I thought it was how long did the Love one last?
It's like a week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think a week. I think it'll be till 1 week today. It'll probably stop.
They said we're getting an OTA next week. So, do they kill it at the OTA? I don't know, whatever. But, so what do you think of, in general, imbalance patches?
I'm not a fan. I know I'm like the fun police here, but it's man, it's like you guys do more work on this than me, but there's a lot of work put into discovering the meta and figuring it all out. And we have 4 weeks. A lot of people spend all 4 of those weeks trying to get to Infinite, and it's a big deal for them. And you end up with 1 week where it's just, what is going on? Because a lot is thrown in the balance. It's imbalanced, which I guess is what they're going for. But this is a lot, too. This is a lot of cards. I feel like it's just going to happen randomly on the board. Like there's going to be like an X-Mansion roll. It's going to roll a card that ends up giving you an Avenger, and then you have 2 other Avengers.
Does it count though? Because
does
it count for X-Men? Because once you play an X-Men,
yeah, maybe with the X-Men you'd have to actually play it from your hand. But then Triskelion gives you 4 X-Men into your hand or something, right?
Yeah.
And you don't even notice, and you're playing them, and then all of a sudden they get +1 power, or your opponent doesn't recognize how many X-Men they've been playing. There's just like some weird things where it throws the core game a little off balance, and I don't know. Honestly, I wish it had been in either ladder exclusive or conquest exclusive. One or the other.
No, I dig that.
Yeah. I don't know. The changes, I guess, sucks for those who are trying to reach Infinite, and then they're trying to figure out the meta, and then all of a sudden it's like, holy crap, what is going on here? But me, as creating content and creating decks, sometimes I like the shakeup because I get to be creative and try to play cards or mix in cards that really weren't played at all. I tried to make Adam Warlock work, but it didn't work. The card still sucked. I thought maybe it could go into Pixie now. Maybe it'll be better in a Pixie, and it still doesn't work. So it's cool to figure stuff like that out and then see if a new meta can emerge from the changes. But overall, it's not that good. It always stays the same. They just figure out how to make Thanos better for the most part.
It's only a few months. It just feels like the season pass thing where everyone's like, season pass cards are always busted. Season pass cards were busted for 2 months at the start of last year and then 3 months toward the end of last year. Right? It was Zabu Surfer.
Oh yeah.
Mediocre shit. Loki.
Yeah.
And that was 7 months apart, and people do the same thing with Thanos. Has been good forever. Thanos was great, and then from the start of summer to December, Thanos was gone. So there were 5 months of no Thanos.
Yeah, true.
Then they released Blob, which it's better not to talk. Blob is probably the biggest. What the hell were you doing?
Yeah,
since Mobius anyway. Elsa, yeah, okay, fine. They're not always great. I think imbalance patches are just kind of silly. Just I don't know. I get that you're trying to shake things up, but you already just don't do skip OTA weeks if you want to keep shaking shit up, right? If you really are that addicted to shaking it up, just stop skipping OTAs. don't have an OTA skip week, do an OTA every week. I'd rather be able to like just be like, all right, what's a really shit card in here that might be decent? You know what? Cable as a 2/4 is really goddamn good, right? Like if Cable were a 2/4, he goes in like every third deck. So like if you want to make cards really good, just make them really good and see how it is. You've got a million OTAs, just give Cable a 2/4 for 2 months and let's see how it lasts. What I feel like they might be doing is they might be testing like, I don't know what the right word for this is, but like deck building restrictions where like you can build an X-Men deck where they like give you like an X-Men, I don't know, like sub card, like an almost high evolutionary for X-Men that does something for them, right? Like permanent, and I think this might be them like screwing around testing that, but it's really weird and I don't love it.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that before. Like one of the things I wanted in the game, if you played like all the spider people or something, like they'll get a boost because there's no really synergy amongst like cards and teams. And I think this is a way for them to push that, or at least test it out to see how it works, which is cool,
That's
I
a
guess.
good point.
I mean, sure, but if you're gonna test it out, like, I wish they'd like do more, right? +1 power or +3 power or +2 power is the most boring way to test it, right? Like, test some like big change where like, I don't know, I don't even know off the top of my head, right? Like change a win condition if you're doing Avengers. Do something wild if you're gonna be imbalanced, be imbalanced.
Or do you create another mode in general?
Oh, I'm fine with another mode. But look, we desperately need one more mode to this game.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is, but like we definitely need one more thing to do. Get rid of Silver Conquest, add another mode.
Yeah.
Also, everyone needs to credit Lauren. She was the first person that said that. And then everyone started saying it. No one ever credits her for it. Lauren was like, hey, we should get rid of Silver Conquest. And like, it's on every podcast and everyone's like, yeah, Silver Conquest doesn't need to exist. Conquest is too long. I'm like, motherfucker, credit her.
Oh yeah, I've heard that quite a few times recently too, which is crazy.
Everyone's saying it. Lauren tweeted it, and everyone's like, "Yeah, what the hell?" All right, boop. Time to talk about a million cards in a row. Baron Zemo has the same text. He's the season pass card for next month, so you are 2 weeks from having him. If you buy season passes, his on reveal has not changed. It's now got a new keyword in the game, though. Recruit the lowest cost card for your opponent's deck to your side of the location. And he is now, instead of a 4/6, a 3/4. What do you think of him, and what do you think of the change?
I think this is pretty cool, especially with Yondu taking out the lowest. So this goes on curve on you getting possibly something pretty good from the opponent. And then you can even play like Gladiator next or something. And I like delete. Well, when it says recruit, do we take it from them, right? In general?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, this is awesome. So Yondu.
So the next
Baron
card is Absorbing
Zemo.
Man, my friend. The next card is Absorbing.
Oh yeah, for sure. So like what? Yondu, Cable, Baron Zemo,
or Grandmaster. Yeah.
like
Gladiator,
Grandmaster,
yeah.
Gladiator. You're deleting almost everything they have.
Mhm.
That's insane.
It's a double-edged sword, right? Because you're taking out all the stuff that they probably don't want at that point in the game, because by the time you play Baron, it's going to roll over to turn 4.
Mhm.
So you're thinning their deck to maybe get to their bigger threats. But I agree with you. I think it's a lot of fun. I also love the prospect of using this card at the final turn, so you just straight up get stats. And that could be one of their biggest cards at that point, because they've drawn a bunch of cards. Like Grandmaster as well, like Glazer said. But like let's think about the numbers too. You pull a 3 power card that's essentially 7 power, 3 energy, 2 spots on the board. Pretty good, I think.
And this,
Also-
turn 5.
Yeah, Wong. Oh, I love Wong synergies. But really quick thought: would the on reveal trigger like Gladiator?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's pretty good.
unless it says explicitly otherwise, it basically always does, right?
Right.
I don't think this is going to be good, but I think it's going to be so fun. I don't care.
yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
definitely a fun card for sure.
Yeah.
And even with Mockingbird too. Like I would straight up make a copycat deck and
So,
put like
yeah.
Morph in it, Mirage in it, just like copy their stuff, just for memes.
It's like Loki, but fun.
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah, I love
Loki
it.
is just like too good to be fun. This is just like stupid fun. I don't
This
know.
is like Loki the hard way.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a meme deck, then make it fun like Zima. I'm all for this card. I also didn't like it at all as a 4/6, but I love it as a 3/4.
Yeah.
So if I can go Zabu, Zabu into blah blah, blah brain. Zabu into Wong. I can go Zemo and Yondu on the same turn.
Well, you would want to go Yondu first and then Zemo.
So yes, but Yondu not on Wong, where they don't have a deck anymore.
True.
Yeah, depending on how many cards they have left. Yeah.
Right. So unless they're Thanos, right? Like,
Talk about it.
Okay, but the problem is Thanos is so bad for this, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, you'll guarantee that Thanos can't get to 20 power. Not that that's ever the goal.
Sure, wonderful. And instead, they're just like, I drew Blob. Thanks for taking my Mind Stone. In your deck that runs no other ones except Yondu.
Or you steal Blob and you don't have a deck anymore.
Yeah,
That's fair. If Blob is the lowest cost card in their deck, in a Thanos deck, we have a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. This card's going to be fun. It's again, the meta needs to move on from Thanos, but it'll be fun. All right. U.S. Agent is now a totally freaking new card from the last time we talked about him. It is a Series 5 card. Everything's a Series 5 card now, or at least Datamined is a Series 5 card, so I'm going to stop saying Series 5 card. Assume it's a Series 5 card, okay, friends? He's a 2/2, ongoing. 2/2, I love 2/2s. All right, ongoing. 4, 5, and 6 cost cards here have -3 power.
I love this card. To be honest, I love toxic cards. I love toxic decks. With him and Man-Thing in the same location is going to be crazy.
You're
But they're gonna hit each
power
other, though, right?
and Man-Thing's 2 power?
I'll play Luke. I'll play
Cage.
Luke.
Yeah.
Right in between
I hear
the two.
you,
That's your
though.
curve.
You could put this with Sentry and Nihilist, the Void going over. You can hit that because it's 4. Or Hobgoblin, even. Would be pretty nasty. Yeah, I don't know. I'm coming around on this card. It's interesting.
Yeah. It's going to be a meta-dependent card, right? Like, if Doom is the 6 people are playing, this is really good.
Ooh,
And if Blob is the 6 people are playing, this doesn't do shit.
true.
Like, making Blob a 14 instead of a 17 is fine, whatever. Making Doom a 2 instead of a 5 is something real. So I think it depends on the meta we're in.
Yeah.
Also,
Kinda
fuck
competes
US
with
Agent.
Goose as well.
Like, right-wing Captain America can go right to hell. He does compete with Goose, that's true. He's really bad in a Goose lane. He doesn't do...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they can't.
Yeah. Not a good
Yeah.
pair. Unless it's separate lanes. Kind of
Yeah,
really pinch
yeah.
your opponent, but
I could see that. That's not bad. So, I don't know. I think he's probably fine-ish in the right deck at the right time. Like, I feel like he's going to get a lot of play for like a week. He's going to be played in everything. And then like 2 weeks later, everyone's going to forget about him. Then he's just going to occasionally steal cubes. Just like Man-Thing. Kind of like Man-Thing. He's Man-Thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think a lot of people are going to be playing Man-Thing now because they got him.
I mean, I haven't seen it.
Oh, sorry.
Are you seeing people play Man-Thing? Like, I've
I
had
don't know.
Man-Thing played against me once.
Maybe I'm the only person playing it.
It's just your deck.
Pretty much. I like this. I like toxic stuff.
Yeah. I mean, look. I think it's funny that they made Right Wing Captain America a toxic card.
Oh yeah,
Like, they're just like, oh, he's so toxic.
yeah.
It's amazing.
I think this is more playable than Captain America, to be honest.
I mean, yes, but that's only because Captain America is not playable,
True.
right? Like insofar as anything playable is more playable than Captain America, sure. Like,
This card though does give me Series 4 vibes. I wish it was Series 4.
yeah, I can see that too. Like Man-Thing was.
Yeah, especially
Exactly.
being at 2/2.
This will be our test,
Yeah.
right? Because Man-Thing was a Series 4. If this
Mhm.
doesn't release in Series 4, they're just done with Series 4 cards.
Seems like it.
So that's good to know. Have they ever datamined something down a series? No, right? Like from Datamines?
Yeah. Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was it?
Well, funny enough, the most recent one I can think of was Supergiant was originally Series 4
Oh, yeah.
Datamine announced.
No. I know we've put it
Meek?
up. Have we put anything down?
Oh. Ooh.
Right? Like, I know like
Yeah, I
things have been
don't know
datamined
about
as
that.
4 and then randomly been 5.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Remember that month
No.
we got 2 Series 4 in a row?
September, the most broken month too.
Yeah.
What a time.
It's what a time to be alive.
Yeah, never again.
All right. Red Guardian. Now with 3/3, but afflict the lowest power enemy card here with negative power and remove its text as an unreveal. Is this awesome? Am I losing my mind?
I think it's pretty good. I just don't think it's like the next broken thing though, because there's just going to be some instances where this is going to hit nothing or nothing worthwhile. But the -2 power has helped because prior to his previously he was a 3/4 that just removed the text. So now he's giving that negative power, and that's a nice like 3/5 swing. So yeah, I don't know.
I mean, what does he do nothing against besides Thanos? Like
Central Park.
Yeah. But like he wrecks Mobius or Meek. He smashes in Zabu decks. He'll like usually hit something like an Elsa or something, right? Like reasonably often. Like
even if you hit like Ebony Blade or something too, you could just remove its text and then
you can't then shock it.
Yeah.
Then we get the -2 power there at least, right?
Yeah.
If the card like this were to take off, though, I think people would start. It's almost like running armor with your big cards. You'd start to put your small stuff with your big stuff to protect it from a Red Guardian play.
Sure, but that makes people have to play better. I'm not against that.
Yeah. I'm for the card for sure. I'm just thinking of all the applications here.
But would you try to play this in like Sarah and then just play this as a final turn surprise?
That's nice too. Mm-hmm.
I think
like that.
I could do it. I could see it there. So yeah, I think this is biggest downside is that so many good cards are 3 right now. Like, am I playing this over Elsa or Mobius?
No,
probably not. Like, am I playing this over Cosmo when I want Cosmo? No. Like, what am I playing this over in its cost slot?
But I think it depends on the meta. Because just imagine someone's playing like Cerebro, and like you put this in the Cerebro lane, like it's done.
It definitely beats Cerebro and Iron Man.
Yeah, like Living Tribunal, done.
You know how I know it beats Iron Man? Drewberry told me in his video. It's true. I didn't. Like, oh shit! I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it does beat a lot of even like Hella decks that want to tuck behind Invisible Woman.
Oh man,
shut down Invisible
Patriot.
Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's interesting.
He's got some use.
He has some potential.
Yeah.
With priority, he can get Morbius.
Hey, Roy popped back. Hi, Roy.
Wow. Once again,
the voice of God
refuses to read tweets and read chats. And
it's not. I don't have any messages in chat since the last one, and you're still showing as muted, but I can hear your voice.
Interesting.
So I'm like, what the hell?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think he's decent. Also, I've always really liked the Red Guardian costume. It's a cool design.
Yeah.
He's got a fin.
Cool.
My dad actually called me to tell me that.
He's like, here's a fin.
No, his suit, but yeah, the fin's cool too.
It's a cool suit. All right. I didn't bother copying the Widow, but White Widow had her thingy updated. She's a 2/2 that puts a Widow Kiss on your opponent's side. Ongoing. This has -4 power. So it basically puts a goblin plus -1 on their side of the board. Disable this ability if your side of the location is full. So you can't fill your side of the location against this, or it's just a 0.
Wait, I gotta clarify this one. And I don't know if you said it right there, but my gosh, I got so many comments about this. So you send over the widow's kiss.
Mhm.
So when reading the text, it's as if they have possession of the widow's kiss, right? So if they fill
No.
their location, it disables the text.
No, you have to fill your side. It's still
Yes,
your
but
card,
you-
even if it's on their side.
No, it's
you
not.
sure?
Yes, yeah. Goblins are now yours when they get sent over.
All right, you know what we're doing?
Go for it.
We're asking Glenn later.
Go for it.
Conversion. All right, so if it's their side, it's bad. If it's your side,
what
it's
does
great.
Prashaun think? We got a tiebreaker here.
I'm confused altogether. I kept on reading this over and over. I was like, I don't know how this works.
YouTube channel.
Like I wouldn't be able to explain this to anyone.
All right, so it's giving a widow's bite. We're sure about that. You play her, you put a card on their side of the board, which at least is decent, right? Like that's got value. And it's a 0-0, right? Or 1-0?
0-0.
0-0.
So
okay.
So if your side of the board is, or if the opponent's side of the board is full, it stays on your side, but it's not a -4.
No. I wouldn't even spawn.
Oh, okay.
Whoa. I think the question was, you play White Widow. Let's say our side of the board is empty. Our opponent's side of the board is empty. We play White Widow. We send over the Widow's Kiss. It's now over there. It's a 0-0, but it then gets -4 from its ongoing ability.
Yes.
Now the debate here is if our opponent were to then play 3 cards around the Widow's Kiss and fill it up. My understanding is that would disable the ongoing -4 power and it would go back to a 0-0. Whereas Glazer is saying that if we fill the 4 positions opposite of the kiss, it'll disable the ongoing ability. Am I correct?
Yes.
And that's our okay.
But what Prashaun's asking is if you play this in a when your opponent already has the location full. You
play this nothing, right?
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing happens.
Okay.
It's just you played 2 power.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
sorry. Yeah.
This card is either like if the way I'm reading it is right, this card is phenomenal. If the way Drew is reading this right, this card is shit.
I don't think it's that bad. Not great, obviously, but not terrible. It incentivizes your opponent to actually fill that location sooner than later, or play cards there, which could be like
if
Guardians.
You go Nebula into this, right? In different locations. Be like, where are you going to play your cards?
Yeah, true. But then the way you are thinking of it, right? That's just always 6 power for 2 and filling up a opponent's spot with -4.
Yep, I think that's what they're trying to do. I think that they're making this card busted.
No,
that was my working theory.
I bet my channel on it. You heard it from here.
All right, I'm going for it. I'm going to suddenly get plus 11,000 viewers from where I am. Let's go, or -9,000, something like that. All right. This is either way. Also, this is really good in bounce. Like really good in bounce. Like it's good. Sorry, this is good exclusively with Beast. It doesn't care about bounce outside of Beast. But like, if you can Beast this and then do it again, it's really strong.
Yeah, the cost is low enough where you can do that. So yeah.
I don't know.
It's confusing. I need to see this played.
Look, we're gonna ask in our secret spot as soon as this ends.
Yeah. Hopefully we get an answer.
Yeah, Glenn's not going to answer. They never talk about Datamines, and then they're going to change the card. They're going to change it before it ever.
Yep, I'm gonna. You know who I'm gonna bother? I'm like, Browdy, wake up, Browdy. You're obsessed with this. Tell me. Every time I like, there was a 2-month period where every time I had a question, instead of asking Glenn, I just asked Browdy, and he was right every time.
Oh, nice.
Like, let's just save my time here. All right. Let's keep going since we don't know how this card works. Okay. Valentina changed mildly. She is now she's still a 2/2. She's on reveal at a random 6 card again, give it -2 cost and -3 power. I just wrote an article on why I think Mobius is the most important card in Marvel Snap right now, the most important tech card in Marvel Snap right now, and this kind of card is why.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, I like this card a lot, but Mobius, I think it's going to be a card that's here to stay in the meta. Mm-hmm. Like, people are just going to throw it in as a tech card. Instead of Cosmo, it's going to be Mobius. And it's a good thing they changed it to 3 instead of a 2.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
I don't know.
This is one of the best 2-drops in the game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This rate, yeah, this is crazy. Pair that with Quinjet, 2 6s that are 3 cost for turn 6. Like play both of them, or sorry, 1. But then I always say 2 because I'm thinking of doing like some crazy Wong or Grandmaster
clearly. Yeah, look, we're beasting this, right? Like,
oh my gosh, beast, yeah.
We're beasting this and White Widow, and then we're putting a bunch of shit on their side of the board and getting 2 6s for 3.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't give you good shit, that's why God invented Loki.
True.
True.
I don't know. I think this is I don't know. I think it's too cheap, to be honest. I think this might be moved to a 4. I think it should be a 4 cost. Like 2, it's like too broken.
3 maybe, not 4. It won't be a 4 because they want you to curve it.
True.
If it's Loki'd.
What do you mean?
So, like, give it -2 cost and -3 power.
No, it transforms the card.
It
loses all modifiers.
Right? It loses all that?
It loses all modifiers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just get your opponent's stuff again.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
Which is, like, just perfectly fine, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Like, this literally just goes in every Loki deck from here to the end of time.
Oh, yeah. You just switch it out for Cable or Mirage.
I mean, not Cable, Mirage, yeah. You gotta run Cable.
Maybe. I don't know. This is awesome card.
Yeah.
Poor Nick Fury.
I don't know, man. Like these 6,000 tokens for like 2 cost cards is insane to me, though.
Yeah, oh, that doesn't bother me at all. I think 2 and 4 are the most important cost slots in Marvel Snap by a lot.
Or unless like you just don't call it a series anymore and pump more like tokens into the economy. That way people have access to it.
What difference does it make? There's like 3 6 cards, 6 cost cards that matter, and there's like 17 2 cost cards that matter.
True.
From a fun perspective, though.
Yeah, I get it. Like, you'd rather spend money on something big and flashy, but like this is little and still flashy as shit, right? Like Widow's, whatever, White Widow is like, I could see like being annoying as a 2. This isn't like I played it and didn't get my money's worth. This is I played it and like shit happened.
Yeah, this is definitely good value.
Exciting. Yeah.
Like, this is a 2-drop that can win a game. All right. Oh, also, if you curve this into Luke Cage, you're in pretty good shape.
Oh, yeah.
2, 3, 4, right? Although it depends what 6 you get. Yeah. Destroyer's not too happy here.
Yeah.
All right. We are on to May. It's time to blink. So 5/7, which is Legion stat line, which is like every time I see 5/7, I'm like, oh, it's Legion. On reveal, swap the last card you played with a higher cost card from your deck.
Broken.
Yep.
This is crazy. This blows my mind, this card. One synergy I missed when I was talking about this card previously, and it's just blown my mind already, is Electro into Blink.
Mm-hmm.
Give you that bonus energy. Blink swaps out Electro so you don't deal with the negative ability, and you can play them on curve. Crazy.
I mean, that was much more broken before we had both Corvus and Hope. Right? When Electro was our only way to get extra energy.
But wouldn't you...
Yeah, you would still rather do that, yes.
Yeah. Maybe Hope. There's maybe a case for Hope, but... well, I don't know. I don't know. It seems really good.
Jubilee. Someone said earlier.
Jubilee's excellent. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I thought Shuri would be cool, too. Double the power of Blink and then swap another card.
Yeah. Or, I don't know. I'm thinking Pixie, too. You could play Pixie and do some random stuff.
Yeah, you're just not getting... If your cost curve...
But you have to, like, high roll.
Enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's like Lockjaw, except now we have a little bit more cadence over what the result's going to be.
Right.
Which seems very...
Which is
very
not the thing we want.
For the health of the metagame, maybe no. But yeah, this card seems very good.
Well, never mind. You can't get...
I mean...
Well, I'm thinking Thanos, of course.
You played in Thanos.
Yeah.
Like you're
You could run
like
Thanos where you
Thanos
just
runs-
have 6s and 1s, and every time you cycle a 1, it would throw out a 6.
Thanos runs 1/2 drop. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's running Jeff and occasionally Psylocke.
Psylocke, yeah.
Like if you hit that, you're just like, all right, shit happens. I tossed a stone and got a 2 drop. I'll live. At least I got extra energy. Like, look, Thanos' problem isn't like that our cards good in them. It's that too many cards are good in Thanos, right? Like we're now cutting like A+ cards in Thanos just because there's not room for everything.
Right. Yeah, Thanos is too good already.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, this definitely fits in there. But it's like, what do you take out?
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Like, what do you cut? Are you cutting Mockingbird? Because probably not.
No.
I think you just want to curve a 4 with this. How would... No, I guess it wouldn't work with Wong. It would be funny with Wong. Oh, God. Mr. Negative? I guess you don't really want... Okay. You don't want that as much.
No.
Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
Because even if they swap out, you could get that card again, right?
Yeah, you could draw it the next turn.
Would she go good in the Lockjaw deck? With Lockjaw? That'd be pretty crazy.
She's a little hilarious after Supergiant.
Yeah. Because on turn 6, you could just play like something that's stupid low and then something that's decent value and be good.
I wonder what would happen with Grandmaster if she would throw out Grandmaster or herself.
Good question. Grandmaster is really weird. It's one of the weirder cards, like as far as rules interactions go.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I play Grandmaster, like, oh shit, I didn't know that was going to happen. I lose, and I don't care. But like, like, oh look, I didn't know that was how that would interact. Nico especially is just random. I love it. Let's do it. Give me Blink. Don't change Blink. I want to see how weird Blink is, and then you can make her a 5/4 so she's not everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. Nocturne 3/5. You can move this once, so it's Nightcrawler. When this move, I don't know how to type. Apparently, I was tired. When this moves, replace this location with a new one. So I assume that changes her new location, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
she's pretty cool.
Like not great, but decent.
Yeah, I'm coming around on this card. My first reaction was it was just kind of boring because it's Scarlet Witch, Nightcrawler combined, both in stat line and character and
but hang
ability.
on, it's Scarlet Witch and Nightcrawler combined.
It literally is.
But you like Nightcrawler because he's cheap, and then Scarlet Witch don't use her all that much. But now I'm coming around to it. I'm definitely starting to see some of the potential with this card now.
Just imagine all those Storm players and all those like Living Tribunal that play Magic. Like you could just put Nocturne on the board and then just like move it final turn and then boom.
Yeah, like this kills Magic dead. If this sees play, Magic does not exist.
Yeah, or Storm. Storm could be dead too.
Yep.
I mean, War Machine already does that.
True. Oh yeah, it'll be out by then.
Yeah.
Is this the card that Surfer is looking for as a catch-all answer for bullshit?
Wouldn't hurt.
So the problem is,
plus the
I think,
boof buff.
I think Surfer's problem. I mean, maybe Move Surfer can get good enough, but like I think Surfer's problem is Surfer really wants Storm, and Surfer can't guarantee it wins the damn Storm lane anymore.
I think Surfer's problem is board space too. Because you don't want to fill up the board too much because you don't know what's going to happen.
I think Surfer's problem is Werewolf is now a 4-drop.
That too. And then with Surfer, you need Surfer.
Yeah.
That's the problem too. You have to use them. If you don't draw them, then you're dead in the water most of the time.
I don't disagree. But this card's still going to be cool.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a cool card.
Yeah.
I could easily see it disappearing into the ether. But, like, Scarlet Witch always pops up as a card that's played, right? Like, you'll just occasionally see a Scarlet Witch deck. I could easily see this being that. They're pushing a lot of 3-drops on us.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was like, 2s and 4s are the best. And they're like, take 3s now.
They're trying to make 5s better, but it's not happening. Mockingbird changes it a
If you
little
want to make 5s better, Mockingbird's not a 5. If you want to make 5s better, you can't print Hope, which reads play Hope on 3, play a card on Hope on 4, play a 6-drop. Or Vision, because Vision does the move thing, right? But like,
yeah.
Like, Hope is like the anti I want 5-drops to matter card.
Yeah, true. I think any ramp does that.
Yeah. Well, not if the ramp is like 2 cost, right? Not that they like if they gave us like consistent 2 cost ramp, like not Psylocke, you can ramp 2, 4, 5 and skip 3. Right? Like, it's just where the ramp is. They just happen to have put ramp at 3. And if ramp is at 3, then like, oh, look, Electro incentivizes 5s. And Hope incentivizes not 5s.
Yeah, but Hope, like, you don't want to play Electro anymore because you got Hope.
Until Blink.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're printing Blink, right? Like, give us a 5-drop that makes us play 5-drops. Cannonball's going to be good, y'all. I'm calling it again. I just want y'all to know. I want this on record everywhere. Either Cannonball's not going to get played and we're not going to learn Cannonball's good for 6 months, or Cannonball's just going to be good from day one. Cannonball's going to be good.
I'm definitely playing Cannonball. I like junk decks. So yeah.
I'm not playing in junk. I'm just playing in good stuff.
No,
I think it's just a good card.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, if I can get like some kind of like Mockingbird Cull curve going, right, in one lane, and put like so much power in it that they can't mess with me, I feel like Cannonball auto wins the second lane for me most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm perfectly fine with that just being the case. Alright. Sage. Hi, Mr. Negative Card. 4/1 on reveal, +2 power for each different power among all other cards here. That would be both you and your opponent. Different power, not different cost. So,
yeah, this is a broken card too. And then like when I was when I was reading it, when I was first going over like the patch notes when I was streaming, I was like, oh, this is sort of dumb being a 4. And then someone said like Mr. Negative, and then what? She could be like what? Okay. A 12 power, right?
So no.
She can, than that.
She can be an 11 Mr. Negative just on your side of the board.
Yeah. So that's pretty insane.
So she can get up to +6 power from based on your side of the board. So that's a 4/7.
Wait,
so if you flip that,
it's both. It's both lanes.
Yeah.
Like the opponent side too.
All other cards here, not all other cards here on your side.
Holy crap!
So even not flipped, she has the potential to get to, I think, 15. Just on her own.
So
right?
7 + 6, no, 13.
Plus 14.
Then. Oh no! You're right. There could be 4 cards on the other side. Yeah, you're right. 15.
Yeah. Okay.
That is like, crazy.
The odds of that aren't super great, right? Odds are there'll be like a 4 power card on both sides of the board or something like that, right?
That's the thing. Yeah.
It's like, so she's probably something like a 4/9 most of the time, which is still pretty damn good. That works with both Zabu and Ravonna.
Yeah.
And Wong and things like that to trigger twice.
Yeah, she goes in every Mr. Negative deck until the end of time, right?
Yeah.
It's probably
for sure.
She's probably decent in the Wong Zola shell, like as a backup Black Panther.
But the problem with Mr. Negative decks is Triple M is going to be around for a while. So we might not see Negative for a minute either.
In the most surprising thing that has happened in the history of Marvel Snap to me, Mr. Negative being number 1 on the Infinite Leaderboard last season. Like, you could have given me 50 guesses on what would have been number 1 last season. I would not have come up with Mr. Negative. And if I did, it would have been the ongoing one. And it was just the regular Panther bullshit.
Oh, wow.
What is that based off of, though? Like, that person is probably just retreating when they don't have the nuts and then snapping when they do.
Look, but that they can do that to get to number 1 on the Infinite Leaderboard is still impressive. Although it is worth noting that players with lower sample size in their MMR climb much faster. Like the newer players that climb to top of Infinite
Right.
will, like, for wins and losses, get like way more cubes
Right.
than others. We'll get way more snap points than others.
Where I'm stuck where I'm at for the most part.
Yeah, because if you play enough, then like it just becomes harder, right? Like,
yeah,
your sample is so big that it's harder to move. If you're newer, your sample is easier to move. So like it's very likely that that's at least partially the case, and this person just played a massive amount for the first time. But still, like, I still wouldn't have been one of my top 50 guesses. Yeah. Either way, Sage is going to be really good, and I'm not sure it has to be Mr. Negative. How about a Darkhawk Shell?
Yeah.
Korg. Then in a different lane, you go Zabu, Rock Slide this. Right? Like, and assuming you played that in a lane that the opponent played anything in, right? Like, you're reasonably likely to just have played a 4-9.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can see this being like a junk finisher or something like that too, because you throw over rocks and goblins and such.
Yeah.
They're going to have varying power. Maybe. It just seems a little late for that, though.
Yeah, the art on this card is really fucking ugly, though.
Oh, yeah, it is. I'll definitely be getting a variant day one. I won't go stock on this one.
It's like, hey, what if we made a Jubilee card that was really extra bad?
It does look like Jubilee. Wow.
Well, that's what Sage looks like, though.
I mean, sure, just do something. I don't like it. It's ugly. Either way, Sage is my sleeper card for this month. It's not the best card of the month, but it's my sleeper card of the month.
Cool.
This is Nomura, and I have one simple question for you for Nomura. It's a 5/5, series 5, 6,000 tokens, obviously. On reveal is the important part. Give +5 power to each of your cards alone at another location. What the fuck?
I love this card.
Wait, really? How? How am I using this?
Oh, I don't know if it's going to be good or not. I just think it's
I think it's cool too. But like, I don't know what to do.
I think it goes good with Professor X. It's a surprise card when someone thinks they moved Jeff over there and got you.
You better get Professor X on turn 4.
But when you want to
be more like this on turn 6, though.
I mean, good luck winning if this is your turn 6 play.
Yeah, it's awkward. Hopefully because not. Like you have Namor, you have Orca. Like you want to play this with Orca, right?
I mean,
no, it doesn't really matter, right? You could even use it with like any of those 4/10s. Heck, even Jessica Jones, because you give the 5 and then you play Odin after would be the ideal line, I think.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't see that.
So
you didn't say that in your video.
Dude, I do those videos. I don't think about the cards at all. We just blast that.
You do an amazing job considering that. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Yeah. If you do that and you're adding +10 to both other cards. Now Namor is like, all right. So your curve is then what's the big 2-drop?
Lizard or what's better than that? Maximus?
Maximus. Okay. So you do Maximus right. Then you go Mr. Fantastic mid. Then you go Namor left, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Then you go Nomura Odin.
It's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
There's something there. All right. So you've got 22 power in the Wong lane.
The Wong lane?
It's actually 25 power.
Sorry, the Namor lane.
Right way. Yeah.
Wait, how's it 25? Help me here.
10 on the left, 10 on the right, 5 on Namor.
Yeah. Okay.
Nomura.
Yeah, I get you.
This would have been super good with an unnerfed Miss Marvel.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now the problem is it's so easy to counter, right? Like if your opponent has anything they can send over,
or a squirrel pops up.
Or squirrel pops up. Yeah, exactly.
Shang-Chi in the
Shang-Chi,
one of the lanes, and then they
just plays
your middle lane. Like
yeah.
Look, there's a lot of ways to beat this.
Exactly.
But it's funny.
Yeah.
I don't think it's funny. I think it's like a pretty solid thing to be doing. It's just predictable.
I think anytime you're relying on one card to win in Marvel Snap, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, because you're thinking about locations. You want to put 4 cards in the location, right, to win. But all these sea creatures want you to play them in the location by themselves, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't think you need to. It needs to be sea creatures, though, right? Like,
Well, like
if in a 7-turn game, you do Panther alone, this mid, and then use Zola, the Panther.
Zola's
Right?
interesting. Does Zola generate the 2 copies, then they reveal and trigger? Or does he do one, it triggers, the other one triggers?
Each triggers one at a time.
Because that might work. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. This it's a cool
fun,
card.
though.
But
It's a cool little archetype. I don't think it would ever be an archetype that'd be like top tier at all. But it'd be fun to mess around with trying to isolate 2 locations to get big Namora value. Seems fun to me.
I like that they made sure it didn't work with Galactus. That's always fun.
oh yeah.
All right.
That guy.
This is the best card of the month. It is Sasquatch, 6/10, series, whatever. Costs 1 less for each card you played last turn. So, ready for the playline? I know the playline. This one is right up my alley. You go Wasp, Mysterio, Hit Monkey. Right? That's 5
that's
cards.
crazy.
This is a 1. And then you've also got a 2-cost, whatchamacallit? A 2-cost, stupid card, Mockingbird.
Yeah.
And then you
that's
still
gonna
have
be
3
crazy.
energy to do things with.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
That feels like it's probably wrong, but it's doable.
And I was thinking even
Yeah.
like maybe you could do like Havoc, Black Swan shenanigans and then play Sasquatch.
Sure. I mean, you could play Black Swan on turn 4, right? Drop 1,000,000 ones and hit Monkey on turn 5. And they'd be like, look, free Sasquatch.
Yeah, this is broken
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and I was thinking even just as a quick line of play is playing Mysterio on 2, Sasquatch on 3. Just
you
easy
know,
2-3 play.
you know it is also a quick play on turn 3?
What's that?
Mobius. Because, like,
But you could
like,
beat it to the punch, right? With
Yes.
the Mysterio? Maybe.
But, like, yeah. But I feel like I'm
Mhm.
okay with that. Like, if they had to do it that early. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like Mobius is, like, why would... They keep releasing cards that make Mobius way better.
Oh yeah.
Like, Mobius is the tech card Thanos. Like, everything they release says, you know what I'd really like to run? Mobius. I'm
Mhm.
going to start running Mobius in my freaking discard decks.
Well, it's like Prashaun said earlier. I completely agree. I don't necessarily love the direction for a lot of these energy cheat cards.
Mhm.
There's just been a lot released. I miss the days where it was like turn 2, people are going to play a 2-drop or 2 1s. Now it's like all of a sudden, I don't know what they're going to do because they have excess energy or they've, I don't know, Hope Summoned a bunch of energy. They discount.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It's a little bit too much.
I think the game's
I
going to be a
agree.
little bit like less predictable as all these cards are pumped in,
Mhm.
which I think it'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse.
I-
But I hear
I don't
you
know.
say.
I think it's so hard for me to conceive of this without Thanos. They need to get rid of Thanos so I can figure out what the hell this means. Like, because there's no mid-range game right now, right? Like, it doesn't exist. So, like,
Yeah.
what does this kind of card mean in a world without Thanos? Are we seeing enough Coulson to chase this away? Because we might, right? Like, it's conceivable. And then, like, does the game become Rogoff? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
But, like, we can't do that because Thanos exists.
Yeah, I don't know the Thanos problem. At least with this card, though, if it were to be a problem, they could increase the cost of it, and it wouldn't.
Oh, yeah. Break
Uh,
anything.
yeah, it'd be
Make it
a
an
little
8?
better.
I mean, even a 7, I think, is
Yeah.
reasonable.
Yeah. Because you have to think about like Thanos too. This goes in Thanos. You put in like, what, Coal Obsidian, Scar. Like,
It's not going in Thanos.
why not?
Because you're not playing enough cards to make it cheap enough to be worth your trouble, really.
But with the new time stone. No, I'm kidding.
I don't think so. Like, even if you play 2 and you get an extra 410, Thanos is so stupid right now that a 410 that requires work is too much trouble. You know how I know that? Because Scar is a 411 that requires work, and we don't run that anymore.
True.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to.
Like, Scar is fantastic in Thanos. Thanos cuts A+ cards in its deck at this point because it cannot fit all the good things it wants to do.
Yeah.
Like Professor X just won freaking basically the biggest, most prestigious tournament we've ever had in the game, right? In Thanos. The next day, Mockingbird came out, or 2 days later, Mockingbird came out like, I guess we got to cut Professor X. And we're just like, it was just the most important card. There were hella versions. It was like, ugh, that's too much work. Let's just play Hope and cheat. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to fix it anymore. I'm like almost officially out of ideas.
I don't know. It's just weird with all the energy cheating that they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
The tempo is getting crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, but like, it's almost better if we didn't have Mobius, because then they couldn't do this. Right? Like, without Mobius, they couldn't release all these cards.
Right. I think Mobius is probably the most important card in Marvel Snap right now.
Yeah, but like, I wish if they didn't print Mobius, we wouldn't have these cards. And I think we'd be even better off. Like, no Mobius means no Loki, means no Sasquatch, means no Scar, probably, means no X, means no Y. Like, none of these cards would be printed without Mobius' existence.
But I think other tech stuff would probably be played, right? I think Cosmo would probably be played more.
Yeah, but what does that do to cost reduction? Like, all that does is protect the big shit that you can do, right?
Or it might be able to stop Loki or make them play somewhere else or do other things.
Cosmo don't stop Loki.
I think
I don't know what game of Marvel Snap you're playing, but like, Loki runs Cosmo.
I think it could deter them from playing in certain lanes at certain times.
Sure, but like, what Loki's power isn't that you played it in a lane; it's that I have your cards for cheap.
Right.
And you know what stops I have your cards for cheap? Coulson, not Coulson. I always call him Coulson. Mobius. I call Mobius Coulson at least once a video, and I genuinely have no idea why. It makes no sense.
But it's crazy how he disappeared, though. He disappeared for a while, then all of a sudden Pixie comes into play and he comes back. And then now he's going to be here to stay because all of these cost reduction cards.
He disappeared because he didn't do anything to Thanos Lockjaw, which was the meta. And then, like, once Lockjaw went out of Thanos, Loki started to be a threat again, or at least close enough to a threat again. And the second Loki is a threat, you just start putting him back in. True. He also chased Scar out of Thanos, at least partially, right?
Yeah, and I think he did a little bit against Discard, too, with the swarms, but...
Yeah. Oh, he's great against Discard. Genuinely, like, there is... I can't think of a card I'd like to see less than him in Discard.
Yeah, because final turn, you don't know if they're going to hit a swarm or if they're going to hit APOC.
Yeah. And, like, then you have to just try and get the swarms out of hand, and if you have, like, 4 swarms, you're like, shit, I don't have all that extra energy. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, he is the most annoying card against Discard. Okay, sometimes Spider-Ham.
True.
All right. These are our cards. Ready for some custom card challenge? No one said yes, so I'm going on.
Yes.
Ready? All right. Our theme was fix bad cards. This was you guys' idea. So Drewberry's Discord, which you can find in the description to this and every video we release here on the channel. And if you would like to make your own custom cards, check snaptracker.me/custom. We asked the Discord to fix bad cards. We got like 1 million submissions because Drewberry posted, and it's his Discord, so everyone loves him. The whole community loves him, but like, he gets exponentially more responses. So we got a bajillion. I picked 5 as our finalists. We're gonna pick one of those 5, and one of those 5 people is gonna get a season pass from me. Cool.
Oh, let's
Cool.
go.
All right, our first card. Anyone want to read this for us?
Guilty Flago.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Prashaun.
Okay, we have Jean Grey here. On reveal, your opponent must play their first card here next turn. Its ability is removed.
Thoughts? Roy doesn't like it.
Actually. I think it's all right. I think see your opponent. So you control where they play and you remove the ability, which is pretty nasty. But they'd have agency over what does have its ability removed. So you could just throw something trash in your hand. It's almost like telling them to destroy something. I don't know. That's nasty though.
And if you're playing Patriot anyways, it doesn't matter.
Sure it does. On turn 5 on Patriot, I don't want my ability removed.
Oh, true. It's a 4/4.
It's a 4/4. What makes it good to me is that it's a 4/4. So you're saying on turn 5,
you have to play something good here.
You have to play, or you can be like, I'm going to do something awkward with my turn 5. That's why I like it, because it's a 4/4. I think the reason I picked it was A, it stays true to the original card, right? Which I think is reasonably important. Mm-hmm. And B, like, not to beat a dead horse too much, let's say you're playing Thanos, right? Like, you play this and like they want to play Vision or they want to play Blob, and now they're just like, well, shit. Right? Like, you can't now. They can drop Thanos, but Thanos ain't Vision or Blob.
Yeah. You can still play Vision, you just can't move them.
Great, but like then you played a 5/8, and that's not great rate. Like, you want to play a Darkhook on 5? No. You want to play an Annihilus on 5? No.
True.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Drewberry after dark.
So,
go ahead,
this
Roy.
card should not be playable with Zabu. Like it's very, very strong with Zabu. Like,
so I think you want it on turn 4.
Does. Maybe you want it on turn 4. That's fine. But you could also have it on turn 3. You can also have it on turn 5 with a 2-drop. Like, I think that controlling where your opponent plays and then their ability is removed, I think is, while it's one of those cards that I think is very tempting to feel like, oh yeah, it gives me a lot of agency because I'm stopping whatever you're doing, but my opponent still has agency because they get to decide what to play. And I feel like that play pattern is theoretically more fun than it actually is. I feel like what this will end up just doing is being really frustrating to play against, and is a card that in some ways is very the worst part of Marvel Snap, which is win more, which it's like in some ways like a lockdown. Like, I gain a strong advantage in the first 3 turns or 4 turns, and I play Jean and make it extremely difficult for you to interact with what I would say. Like, this card feels to me like what you think is a reactive card, but is actually a proactive card.
I play bounce. Right? Like, I think certain decks don't care about this like at all. So that makes it risky. Right? Like your Loki deck is just like, I don't, sure, have fun.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, but what if you get like I think this could be effective against Loki depending on what's in your deck. Like, again, I like the spirit of this card. I think that keeping it closer to what the original is, I think, is a lot better than like a lot of times when people just redesign cards out of the blue. But I still think it's trying to do something that is more of a trap than is a real benefit.
Okay. Drew, any thoughts? Or I guess I can read that.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
You guys can hear me still?
I read that.
Yeah, sorry. Camera died. Classic. Happens every stream. So one thing, ability aside, I agree with you guys' points. But I do like the character, the flavor here of her kind of reaching in the artwork that he put together of sapping away the ability. It's pretty spicy. It looks good. And it'd be nice to see Jean Grey be good, because I wanted her to be good when she released, and then she just kind of was a meh. So it'd be nice.
Fair enough. Let us move on to Tim's Punisher. Drewberry, you're up.
Nice. So Tim's got The Punisher, a 3/3. When a friendly card here is destroyed, destroy an enemy card here with equal or less power. So kind of getting a benefit out of destroying your own cards to then destroy your opponents. Pretty neat.
Prashaun?
Let's see here. When a friendly card here is destroyed, destroy an enemy card here. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's better than what it was or what he is, right? For the most
It'd be
part.
hard to pull off, wouldn't it? Because you don't want to use Venom or Carnage.
Right, because it's also going to destroy him.
Yeah. But destroy happens one at a time. So I guess if he's the third card in the sequence, he could destroy two potentially on the other enemy side, depending on their power total. But then I guess Killmonger would be the next best. But then you might still just destroy that low power thing across from him with Killmonger anyways.
Wait, ready? I know what it is. Atuma.
Oh, you play Atuma into the Punisher?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty spicy actually. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I just think this is cool. It's so different. Like, it feels like the character, right?
Yeah. God, I really like that Atuma play.
Yeah. Or Nico. Nico can destroy the card. You draw two cards. Interesting.
Old Negasonic. But, like, you could also just, like, go Cull Obsidian and then just drop this and be like, you can kill my Cull, but, like, I might destroy your Chandra. I might destroy something else there. Good luck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is really cool. Any other thoughts or ready for the next card?
Let's go next card.
All right. DNS error 404 says Rhino. On reveal 5/7. On reveal, destroy one quadrant of the adjacent locations on your opponent's side.
What if there's a card there?
I think it has to destroy an empty quadrant, but if it's full, it would just destroy, like, Galactus it.
Oh wow.
That's crazy,
So
actually.
with the card on it?
It would have to, right? Like, if they had 4 cards there.
Wow.
That's broken, actually.
Yeah, that is broken.
Think so? I don't think so.
Don't you just like
Junk deck?
destroy four card like a location completely?
No. One quadrant. One
No.
fourth.
1/4.
Yeah.
Okay, so they can only play 3 cards in a location.
Yeah.
And if they already had 4, it's going to destroy 1 at random, I think. That's the way I would read it.
But if you play a mid, you could get 2.
Yeah. But like then they have to have everything in every location filled.
Yeah.
On turn 5? I mean, you can play it on turn 6, but like now you're playing a 5/7 on turn 6 and hoping it hits something big.
I think you do like Magic shenanigans where you go to the late game. They have less places that they can actually put power out. Oh.
I like that.
Yeah.
And then if they have 3, you're just sort of locking them.
Yeah.
This is probably too good, right?
Yeah, this is very good.
It's very good. It makes up rules for itself that don't exist otherwise.
I think it's so cool, though.
It's so cool, but like to me, and I say this with love to custom card creators everywhere, this just feels like a custom card to me because it has all of this additional rules baggage that's more cool than maybe worth it to like an actual game designer to now add an additional rule that you have to understand in Marvel Snap that is quadrants, and that there are 4 quadrants now in each one of these that can be interacted with cards. And like, is that design space like worth doing in a game that like
I would
prizes
bet money.
simplicity?
I would bet money that within a few years we're getting quadrant-based stuff.
When they run out of design space, we'll get all kinds of wild shit. But that's in the future. I also think a card that kills people is not a Rhino card. Like, Rhino is not like a crazy, I'm going to murder 2 people Spider-Man villain.
So what if it was red as long as there's an empty spot?
That's more of a Rhino card. But like,
because then it's just destroying locations. It's doing what Rhino does now, except in certain spots.
I think that's a more thematically appropriate Rhino design. Like, I mean, I also don't think Rhino like needed to be redesigned. Like it does.
Oh, I think Rhino needs to be redesigned badly.
Like,
You think so? I like him the way he is. It's just that I don't know. You can play other
He's
things.
it's such a
utterly
toxic attitude
terrible.
about cards in Marvel Snap that like not every card can or should be like tournament perfect. Like for people
every
who
card
want,
can or should be interesting.
well, Rhino is interesting. Like
He's
he
not.
provides a baseline. Like you want to interact with a location, Rhino gives you a baseline of what that costs, what it does. It teaches you like
They give us one of those as like one of the first cards we get.
like to just like destroy a location with no drawback.
Sure, it has a drawback, but the drawback is not worth playing, right? Like it's just a strictly worse version of a card they give us sooner.
But it's a for sure thing. You know what? The location's not going to count.
Sure, and it's still
It's not
strictly worse than Scarlet Witch.
It is not okay. We are completely not speaking appropriate at all game design if you're going to say that Rhino is strictly worse Scarlet Witch. That is like an objectively false statement.
Okay, there's times
Like,
where it's
objectively
better,
false.
but there's okay, fine. There is no reason outside of a once in a blue moon Silver Surfer deck to ever play Rhino in a deck when you can play Scarlet Witch in a deck.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. She's a energy cheaper. She's like that. You get there's a upside. Sometimes you get literally location that's the greatest thing that ever happened to you in your life, right? And then some percentage of the time you get the worst possible location. You get like the one that
Bar with
makes
no
it so
name.
bar with no name. Like, yeah, I mean, I get it, but like again, there is a reason for some people to want to play effects like Rhino. And it should exist. It's like the people, and again, I say this with love to the commentator, who were saying that Agatha Harkness needs a redesign in the comments of the last episode.
Yeah, that was not
like
a thing.
It's that, but it's like that kind of attitude that, like, I've said this over and over again on the show since they started the OTAs. Like, it's just like not a healthy way to approach and think about cards. Not saying cards don't need redesigns and don't need reworks, but
no, Agatha is unique and does something different. I think it's worthwhile to try and make each card unique outside of the very early game where cards exist specifically to teach players things. I don't think Rhino exists to teach players anything that they're not already learning.
I don't know. I think Rhino's needed, though. Like,
when's the last time you thought of playing him?
I don't play him at all. I don't know. Maybe Surfer?
But like
back in the day when people were playing Storm, I tried to play Mixer Rhino in there.
Yeah, how'd that go?
I don't know. It's been so long. It's been so long ago.
Bad.
It's been so long ago, but I don't know.
What series is Rhino?
2? I'm 90% sure he's series 2.
Then truly, Rhino is not stealing anyone's progress by existing as he is to sort of provide a
series
person. 2. Yeah, provide people with. We could spend like literally a whole hour talking about like what Rhino can teach players in Series 2, but it's probably worth going on to the next person who was brave enough to submit a card, because it is a huge brave action to like publicly submit your designs like this. So,
Drew, what you got? How do you say this person's name?
Pito.
Sure. My working assumption is that you know all these people. So
no shot. I get it wrong all the time. I recognize some of the names. I think maybe Pito, but I just go short form if I don't know how to pronounce the name.
All right, Pito. Let's go, Pito. All right, Prashaun, you're up, right?
Let's see. On reveal, we have Rescue 4/4. If you play a card here next turn, this card and that card gain +3.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty good. What did Rescue do before? It just added
gets +5.
+5 just to Rescue, right?
Yeah. So this is one more power, but it splits it.
I don't think it's that big of a difference.
I think it's a reason.
Play Black Panther.
Yeah.
Right after.
I don't know. I just feel like Rescue and Jessica Jones, I don't like those cards in general. Because it's like Rescue, you have to play there, and then Jessica Jones, like, sometimes I have to play there.
No, and they're also dead on the last... not dead, but shit on the last turn of the game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I like it. I like the concept, but it feels almost the same to me, where I probably wouldn't... Like, it'll feel cool playing it in a game, but do I want to waste, like... I like turn 6 plays. That's my thing. It feels weird to me. You guys might play better.
What does this have to do with turn 6 plays? I'm confused.
Well, never mind. It could work. You could probably play it on 5 and then play 6, but I don't know.
You can't. It has no value on turn 6, is what he's saying. Like if this is your last draw step, like
right,
just like Rescue now, right? Like it's
right. It just I don't know. It just feels the same to me. It might feel different to you guys, but
so I think it feels reasonably different, largely because of Black Panther. It's mostly going to be the same in other situations, except there's ways to like double on reveals, and then if you're doubling the on reveal, like it just gets better, right?
It's the same core design as Rescue with a little bit more a lot more upside and a little bit more downside, right? So because it more likely to make its partner card interact with Shang-Chi, blah 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 blah. But yeah, I think of these, I think that this is a very sort of solid design. It has you ask questions like Panther. What's his name? The Hellfire Club dude. Who gets additional points when he gets buffed. Like, there's like other cards. Shaw. Like, there's other cards that this makes you look at and be like, yeah, there's reasons for me to want to play them together. And it stays true to the original core design. So I guess of these cards, this is actually probably my favorite.
Yeah, I want to double down on that one too, because I think this is, out of all of them, seems like the most real change that Second Dinner would make to this card, because like we've seen it with M'Baku, for instance, we were just previously talking about, where now he jumps to the lowest power location, still in his core ability, still not a very good card, but they're making that small nudge to see what happens, to see if people can spice it up and make it work. So I could see them doing something like that with Rescue, where it's like, okay, well, let's divide up the power, see what you can do with the next card, and maybe if that's not good enough, we'll tweak some of the numbers and go from there. So it seems like a very realistic change to this card that's already not played a lot. And I also got to mention that is the best Rescue variant. I love this variant so much.
Besides they have so I would play this card, I think. Like, I would play this in like a pump deck. A deck that I really want a pump deck to be a thing, like a Shaw Panther type thing, and it's not, right? But like this would go in that, and I would totally play this there.
Yeah, I would probably play this in Kitty or something.
Yeah, pretty good with Kitty. Yeah,
it's good with Kitty.
Kitty, yeah, it'd be cool. Then you can choose where you put the power.
Yeah,
following turn with Kitty.
I think that this card, I really do think this designer should give themselves credit, because I think they did think kind of like, what kind of designs does Second Dinner like? And this is really close. So
Deadpool as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah, Deadpool.
Yeah. Oh like man, Deadpool, and you drop Deadpool, and then what's his name on it? Venom, right on top of each other.
Yeah, that'd be a sweet follow up.
Yeah. Atuma with Punisher.
Yeah, that one feels not as good as the one you just described to me.
I really like Atuma Punisher. I don't know what to tell you. All right, our last card is Domino. So my theory for this, I'm gonna actually, Drew, want to read it for us, and then we'll go.
Yeah, sure. We got Maverick. Let's go.
Yeah, shout out to Maverick.
Yeah, everyone loves Maverick.
Mav. Yeah, we all love Mav. Domino 1/2. You only draw cards with cost equal to your max energy, if possible. All right.
So earlier,
interesting.
when Prashaun was complaining about like, oh, was it you, Drewberry? One of you two were complaining like, I miss when people just play a 2-drop on turn 2 and then a 3-drop on turn 3. I was like, we have a card for that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you can only. So what if the if possible kicks in if you do not have that available card, and then you just draw whatever randomly out of your deck?
Yeah, then you just do a regular draw. So you're not like skipping draws.
Interesting. Not ongoing as well, so it can't get shut off. Huh.
Well, the power of curving out Marvel Snap is like limited, right? Although if you can make it be like, I only run Wong, Panther, Zola.
Yeah.
You would guarantee some crazy combos like Invisible Woman, MODOK, Hela. Or
if you can draw this on turn 1.
Or turn 2.
If you play it on turn 2, you are not drawing Invisible Woman.
Yeah, but there's this creates a consistency issue that like people America Chavez was too much for second dinner. Like
but like how are you okay, so you're not running any other 5 or 6 drops to guarantee Invisible Woman, Hela. Like, then what is your deck? Because I don't think that's a deck.
I actually think your statement about Panther, Zola, Wong, like, is way more likely to be what they'd be interested in. If you could just literally do that, guarantee to do it way more games. Like,
you know what the real answer is? You fucking run this with negative, and you only run negative as your 4-drop.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yep, that's definitely an option. Like, again, this is probably would be the most powerful combo enabler that they ever printed. And
it'd find a way.
Yeah, this would be crazy.
As a person who loves combo, I appreciate the thought behind this card, but there's 0% chance the second dinner would ever print this.
I think I'm crazy because I kind of wish they would. Like, I think it would just change the game in really interesting ways. Like, this is killable. This isn't like it's a 1-drop. I mean, I wish they didn't print Kyra, right? But like this is very interactable, right? Like, this is very like draw dependent. This is very decks that are going to fall apart when you don't see it, because you can only run one of certain cost slots, which means you have to overstuff other cost slots.
What if we go reverse, where you play Havoc right away, so you're only drawing your 1-drops, and you guarantee you draw through all your 1-drops in the deck?
That's funny.
Run some really high value 1-drops somehow, like Nebula,
you just have one like
Nico.
18 power Havoc, and you're like, Like, so I think this could be broken, right? But I think it's really hard to break it. Like, it's harder than we think to break it.
Where I disagree with you is I think this is pretty easy to break, where somebody will figure out the math of what is the best combo to most consistently see and gives you the most space. It's by a 4, 5, 6 drop combo that gives you the most time to see and play domino. The question is, like, the stress point would be like Killmongers, Electras, like, how much does the rest of the meta like want to play cards that interact with this?
If there's a combo that's that consistent, there's guaranteed a tech card for it, right? Like, if the answer is Wong, Panther, Zola, then that card is Cosmo. If the answer is Tribunal bullshit, which it can't be, but if the answer were Tribunal bullshit, then Enchantress, Rogue, Echo all make sense as answers. Like, I think because Marvel Snap's tech cards are genuinely, like, insanely good, that it answers a lot of the downside of this card. Because I don't think there's 10 things to do with it. I think there's like 2 things to do with it. And so this is a combo enabler that I think the combos are more fun than amazing. And this ends up being sort of like a good stuff, I want to draw my good stuff card. Maybe.
Yeah, it makes sense.
See Annihilus every game.
Right, exactly. See Annihilus every game, I think, is like the perfect use for it. Where, like, you still have to draw your other pieces, right? Like, you're not just running Sentry no matter what in this deck. Because you have 12 cards. You can't just run all of one cost. You know what I mean? Like,
you take that one card out when you need it, like Roy said, like that, like that. Yeah,
but I think that's fine. that doesn't bug me. You get one card.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
That's the kind of stuff that worries me with Snap. These cards.
Fair enough. All right. It sounds like everyone's winner is Rescue. My winner would have been Domino, but it sounds like everyone's winner is Rescue.
Yeah, I think Rescue's the more realistic card.
Yeah, I achieved the objective of this challenge the best, I think.
So, of Guilty
Grey.
Flygon's Jean Grey, Tim's Punisher, DNS Error's Rhino, and Maverick's Domino, the winner is Pita Hui's Rescue.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Your Snap.
Woo. Yeah. All right. Right.
All right, we are in our last segment each and every week where we look at our variant of the week. This week, Glazer picked Beast. All right, we are not going to start with Dan Hip. We'll start with the...
Do we know why I picked Beast?
Because you like bounce.
Yes, but no, that's not why I picked it. This week in particular, I picked Beast for a specific reason.
The Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde get released 100 years ago. What?
So, he is the most prominent character that is both an Avenger and an X-Men.
He's an Avenger.
Glazer.
We're not.
Your brain
think Wolverine?
is still... Yeah, I was like
No.
You forget
Well,
Bendis
Wolverine-
added Wolverine to the Avengers.
But he was in the Avengers for like 4 years, and no one thinks of... Like, there's still people who think of Beast as an Avenger as much as an X-Men. No one... You don't say Wolverine and go, oh, that's an Avenger.
Oh my god, this is the most boomer
What?
shit that Glazer has said about comics, like in a long time, and he says boomer
That
shit all
is
the time.
crazy.
Like you understand that?
You
Like
think of Wolverine as an Avenger?
Yeah, he fought with Captain America back in the day in the World Wars.
That was... What? There were no Avengers.
Exactly. He was like pre-Avengers.
Yes,
Right.
Pre-Avengers. That's not...
all right, friends,
What?
19 years ago is when New Avengers came out. All right, 19 years ago. All right. When did Beast join the Avengers? Hold on. When did Beast join the Avengers? Okay. 1976. All right. 2005.
He's doing math. Everyone's listening with beta res is right as math.
30 years. Wow. So there's about 10 more years that Beast was an Avenger than Wolverine has been an Avenger. All right, since they joined. Like, I'm just saying, like,
That's
Glazer,
not
we
a
are
lot of
old.
time.
We are
Yeah.
old. Like, very few current comic book collecting fans remember a time when Wolverine was not an Avenger.
Right.
Sure, but Wolverine did not maintain his status as an Avenger. He didn't.
He's in an Avengers book right now, bro. Like,
Wait, no, he's
yeah,
not.
yes, he's on one of the teams.
No, he's not.
I
Or
thought
at
he
least
was.
wasn't like 2 months ago. No, he's not. He hasn't been in ages, at least since Krakoa, and for quite a while before then. Once Bendis left, Wolverine basically went back to X books. He was like an occasional Avenger character, but not a regular Avenger character.
Yeah, he's
got
not in
more Googling
Avengers
happen?
right now, but Captain America made an appearance in a Wolverine comic not too long ago.
Captain America is not the Avengers. That is a character who is in Avengers.
Looks like he's rejoining the Avengers after Fall of X. So,
Okay,
Ooh.
so he's about to rejoin. Fine. But like, he was in Avengers for a few years. Beast was in Avengers for 20 years, 15 years, whatever it is.
Wasn't it 10 years?
he
10
was
year
about
difference?
Avenger for about 10 years. Okay. Here we go. This is fun. How long was Beast on the Avengers? No, that doesn't help. Because now it's like talking about the last time he was on the Avengers in the 2000s, which was not very long.
But I know, like,
Anyway.
currently in the
Alright.
comic books, in X Factor, Beast is teaming up with Wonder Man to fix everything. So,
Yeah, Beast is going to go back to being an Avenger relatively soon. They're doing So, are we? Hey, spoilers! Everyone who cares about current Marvel comics, cool.
Yeah.
Beast has been a villain for a while.
oh yeah, he's horrible.
So
Wow.
however they're resetting things for X-Men after the House of X thing, the Beast that will be in the comics, the only Beast supposedly that will be in the comics, is a Beast coming right off his time on the Avengers.
Well, that's already happened. Like,
Oh, has it
spoiler-
actually happened?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're reading X Factor right now, Like Beast had a clone from back then. They revived that clone from back then. That clone found Wonder Man, and now they're attacking evil Beast. That's what's going on.
Okay.
Oh my
So
god.
that beast will eventually be the
Jesus.
only beast, is what they're saying is happening.
Yes, the cute, cuddly Beast from back in the day is coming back.
So Avengers Beast will be back. Got it.
Until
All right.
they decide to make him pseudo Dark Beast again. Okay, anyway, I apologize to our loyal listeners and loyal viewers. Glazers just continues his boomer shit about comics that is just blows
Beast
my mind.
is
sometimes.
the only
Anyway,
Avenger appearance.
who picked the middle one here, which is the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde Beast?
I picked that one.
All right,
I think
Prashaun,
it's the
tell us
coolest
about why
one.
you like it.
I think it's the coolest one. I don't know. It just, like, it's the epitome of Beast messing with chemicals and all that. It looks scary and creepy, and I just like it. All the other ones are bad to me, in my opinion.
See, that's my least favorite Beast you picked.
I knew
That
you were
doesn't
going to
feel
say
at all.
that.
But it doesn't feel at all like Beast. That's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is not Beast. Beast never transforms back and forth, really, right?
No,
like he
no, he
turns
never
blue
does.
and fuzzy, and then he's blue and fucking fuzzy.
Yeah,
So like the half transform thing, like he's transforming, isn't a thing that happened once.
true. I don't know. I just think it's cool.
And he also turned into the cat version of Beast in the Morrison era, and
There's a really good cat version variant that I almost picked when I knew where I was going to pick the hip. All right, Drew. Sorry about our comic rant. Why'd you pick
No,
the
it's
horny
all good.
Beast?
I'm very less lore knowledgeable, I guess. I just like this variant. It's the one that I have for Beast. Well, I have 3 of them, but this one's my favorite. Just visually, it looks more badass, and he's got the horns and stuff. But I don't know the background behind it.
I don't either, because like it looks like he's about to do magic.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think it's from one of the like alternate universes where people, you know what I mean. There's like so many of them. It's like 1619 Beast or whatever. You know,
No,
like,
the 1619 Beast is the middle Beast. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, that's that
is
one.
it?
Yeah.
But whatever. I don't know, like a Demon World or
Yeah.
whatever. There's always silly reasons.
The
for
title in Snap is all new. So maybe it's a future Beast or something somehow.
All New is like one of Marvel's. Marvel just
Yeah,
used
all-
a bunch of subtitles. through
All
the
new, all
2000s.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is All New Snap Judgments, literally because of that. Which I have to delete from Roy's title every week.
It's the name of the show, bro. So I'm just.
I pissed
just-
Roy off when I made it, and it will never die. All right, until we hit issue 100, and we have to rebrand. Why'd you pick the hip, Roy?
Because it's an excellent Beast. Like I think it captures the things that. Although I have a soft spot for Morrison era, like shitty Beast, who's like not evil, he just sucks. Like Beast pretending to be gay for a reason. Like I will never forget that
That was
storyline from
weird
from
as
the
shit,
Morrison
yes.
from the era. I have a soft spot for that, like sloppy Beast, I guess you could say. But like 70s Beast is very charming from the 70s comics I read when I was younger, and this I think captures sort of Beast at his best. So there you go. So. And it's a
look,
good
there's
hit.
the X-Force.
It's a
Yeah.
good hit.
I'm reading X-Force.
Nice. I like it best because it feels most like Beast. The only one I like nearly as much of the Beast is the one where he's upside down reading a book.
That's a
Yeah,
pretty
that
one
one's
too.
cool.
It feels very Beast.
Yeah.
All right. Glazer? Or actually, we start with
Drewberry.
Drewberry, actually, right?
Maybe start with Drewberry, yes.
Me?
Yeah.
Why should people
No
follow you?
camera. I'm in the dark.
It's okay, they can't see anyway. We don't put the video of us.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So, well, anyways, thanks so much for having me on the show, guys. It's always great talking to y'all, and for the people that voted for me on the giveaways, it's always nice to see that people are interested to hear what I got to say. But yeah, if you want to check out my content, I got some videos on YouTube, and every now and then I tweet things on Twitter. I try to keep it less takes on Twitter and more just graphics that help folks, I hope. And that's what I do.
Because Twitter is the worst place on earth.
Pretty much.
However, not the worst place on earth is Drewberry's YouTube page. It is, in fact, one of my favorite places. It is entirely possible I spend more time watching Drewberry than any other Marvel Snap creator, because almost all of us, like, I'm closer to the norm, and my content is fucking weird. Like, if you're here, you know my content is weird. It doesn't look like most people's. It doesn't feel like most people's. Drewberry's isn't even on the same, like, planet. He's just doing his own thing completely. And, like, if you're following Marvel Snap and, like, you just, like, here's a deck. Let us play this deck. That's not Drewberry, right? That's, like, here is a deck. Let us not play this deck as me. And here's a deck. Let us play this deck as Prashaun. Drewberry is, like, here's some really, like, cool theory crafts with, like, a really great look and really great explanations. And I'm literally still genuinely annoyed that he does that all off the top of his head. Because it's so good.
Yeah.
Like I watch 5 of those videos a week, and, like, including my own, his are the best of, like, the new card content. By a lot. And, like, that's just like, oh yeah, I just threw some stuff together because I thought about it. It's like, well, you're brilliant. Congratulations. His content is amazing, and it's super creative, and it's really different. And if Marvel Snap is going to grow, it needs space for more different kinds of creators and different kinds of stuff. And that's Drewberry. So you should check him out.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
I agree. I think it's a good challenge for a lot of creators to try and be unique in the space, or explore some of that creativity. But it's hard, because it doesn't always get the clicks. So
Yeah.
So how about you, Prashaun? Where can our loyal listeners and loyal viewers find you?
They can find me on the YouTubes. I post decks on the daily, sometimes 2. It could be the best deck in the game. It could be something I cooked up. It might suck or not suck, but usually I win somehow, some way. Luck is on my side, like I'm Domino or something. And then also you can find me on Twitter. I do giveaways every once in a while. I post decks I'm playing. Of course, I post my videos there. I don't really do takes that much either. I might attack a troll or 2 every once in a while, but that's pretty much it.
All right. So I said this. Was Zal last week? Zal was last week, right? I said this last week. Zal and Prashaun are my 2 favorite deck guides in Marvel Snap, period. There are people that have 100,000 followers, and there are Prashaun and Zal, right? And, like, 1 million people do this type of video, and none of them grow but Prashaun and Zal, because they're so goddamn good at it. Like, the game doesn't seem like it's. I think we're all sort of at this point passing around the same viewers for the most part, right? Like, the people doing deck guides are really, like, generally speaking, and I pay a lot of attention to this because everyone knows I'm an insane person. Are really struggling to grow because, like, if you want a deck guide, Cozy and Decks exist, right? That Prashaun and Zal can grow doing this, that Prashaun is growing, like, so freaking fast doing this, is a testament to, like, how damn good he is at it. Because, like, the biggest people are doing something similar to what he's doing, and his is still growing exponentially. Also, my the variants coming out next week is the most useful thing in the world to me. Like, I refresh YouTube for that, and I don't refresh YouTube for shit. So I love it. I love his content.
So, what's crazy about the growth in Marvel Snap is a bunch of content creators have hit me up on asking what I do, and then some have actually looked or deep dived into what tags I use in my videos, and I don't use any.
I know. So, I got yelled at for letting you have no tags.
So
no way.
So there's people that are actually, like, asking what's my secret sauce, but I just think it's just me being myself. I'm a dude that plays Snap. I don't try to go too high level because I'm not high level at all. I just play the game, put cards together. Maybe they'll work. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, and that's pretty much it. I'm just chill. I'm the man of the people, I guess. And
yeah, man, that's why I like your channel. I saw your channel pretty early on, and authenticity is a tough thing to do when you turn on the camera. It's like not everyone can just be themselves, and I think you do a good job of that, and that comes through in your content and just the decks that you make and how you enjoy the game.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
It's supposed to be impossible to grow by doing what you're doing, but you're so good at it that you're growing anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it's ultimately what it is.
Without tags.
It's not replicable, right? Like, people who are looking at you and going, what does he do that I can copy to, like, be successful are not going to succeed. Because like what you do to be successful is be really good at what you specifically do.
Yeah, I think it's bad when people say the game's dying or they're not getting clicks, but like I don't feel it.
I still get. I'm not worried about that, right? Like, if you're so my general feeling, and again, this is why I'm like, all of my like Drewberry grew because Drewberry does something totally unique. I do, but my videos don't look anything like anyone else's videos, right? Like, so I always grow because like, if you like what I'm doing, no one else is doing it. You have no choice. You're stuck with me. Like, they're choosing you over other people for growth, right? Like, that's exponentially harder, at least in my brain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Saturated market. It's not easy to have your stuff stand out and just get unique viewers, and let alone have them stay.
Yeah.
Especially when you are essentially selling decks. So there is a pressure to perform and have your decks do well, because somebody might be a really bad player, take your deck, bring it to ladder, lose 3 games, and then unsubscribe just because they're like, oh, well, that didn't work out, which is so silly because there's so many other factors involved.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a tough way to grow a channel, but you're managing to do it, which I think says a lot.
Those are my favorite people, just for the record. The people who are like, I played 4 games with this deck and I went 0-4 and you know nothing about Marvel Snap.
Right. Especially when I like sometimes like when I think a deck is like risky, I'll even tweet out my stats. That way I could just go back to it and just say, hey, like I actually did pretty well with this.
I don't care. They can think it's good or bad. It does not bother me. Like, I don't respond to that kind of thing except to be like, hey, I'm sorry you lost.
True.
I don't. Like, it's sometimes you're going to win and sometimes you're going to lose, right?
Oh, yeah,
like,
for sure.
I mean, look, Lambie is the GOAT, and I don't know if you've been on his stream, but I've been on his stream and watched him lose like 10 in a row. It's just shit that happens. It's a high variance game.
Yeah. Or I can't even play half the decks he's played. Like he says this is the best deck. I try to play it. And it's just not the way my brain works. I'm like, no, this isn't for me.
Look, move decks have officially gotten so complicated that I can't even like begin to play them.
Yeah, you need to know like trigonometry to play a move deck.
Like the Ragged deck, like the Jet deck. Like, screw you, man. Like, you're just way smarter than I am. Go for it. Go have at it. Yeah. I'm going to share those decks, and then people are going to play and be like, I lost 1 million ranks. Like, yes, you did.
Yeah,
me too.
I don't even mess with move.
Oh well. I used to love move when I was for dumb people. All right.
We just a quick reminder of where you can engage with us. If you want to join the land of dumb people, you can follow us on Twitter/X at SnapJudgeCast. We are unbelievably grateful and happy to be the official podcasting partner of Marvel Snap Zone. Please click the link to join their Discord in the description of this episode below, in the YouTube video, or in the description of the episode on your friendly neighborhood podcatcher. Our email is at snapjudgmentspodcast@gmail.com. 6 days a week, plus the 7th day for this episode. You can find Glazer's content at Snap Judgments Pod on YouTube. And of course, our Patreon is patreon.com/snapjudgments. And the Patreon is responsible for my favorite moment of every episode, which is when Aaron reads all of our patrons in a beautiful ASMR cadence that just brings joy to the lives of everyone who has to hear it. Not only just in every episode of Snap Judgments, all new Snap Judgments, but
all new,
in his daily Snap Take video. So, Aaron, go ahead. Thank the people who are supporting this show.
I'd like to thank Abigail Gieslam, Mandatory Burnout, Cables, David G. Wingfield, Direwolf, LAB, Fothar Newman, Good Dog Gamer Inc., Jane Everett, JD McDonaldino, Akela Platano, Caretix Lee, Koirei, Doku, Philip Rakovich, Haplo, Kenny Loggins, Rob Silverman, Robert Rivern, The Bizza, Jay Bussy, X-Force V, Skippy G, Tommy Nyquist, Black Dahlia, The Great Kazoo, Jessica Gamble, Models, Louis Antonez, Matt Conduit, Matt H., Mikey Hijinks, Noflex, Icularis, Pretty Chill, Seamus, Spike Jones, Two Ties, The Pirate King Tucker, The Homie Min, and of course, Gunny T.
It's good to see a lot of friends up there.
Very efficient. All right, friends. That brings us to the end of another episode of All New Snap Judgments, a.k.a. Glazer's Hubris. And I want to say thank you, Prashaun, for joining us for the Hubris this week. It is a joy to have you on each and every time that you have been on.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for Twitter for tagging me every month. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Glazer for answering my call and actually getting me on. So
awesome. Drewberry, all the same is true for you. We enjoy having you on the show. Thank you so much for being on it this week with us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Always a pleasure. It's a good time.
Awesome. Quick couple programming notes. First, I want to apologize for my absence for most of this episode. I was having very insane internet issues, which magically just resolved themselves, which was the power of the internet, I guess. And secondly, I will actually not be on next week's episode for actual real life reasons. So I apologize that I'll be missing another episode, but I will return in, I guess, April, or maybe there's another week in May. May, I think, is a 5-week month. I don't 100% know. It's a tough time of year.
You're never on with Lambie. 2 weeks is Lambie.
So I think I will, but in 2 weeks, I will be able to be on with Lambie. So I will return for that. But until then, Aaron, it is always a pleasure, almost each and every week, to do these episodes with you.
Peace, love, and Beast is an Avenger.
All right, friends. Make good choices, keep on snapping, and stay safe.